Final morning of the Australian Senior Sides Championships in 2024, and we have got Women's Round 7 action between Western Australia and the ACT. It's Liz Matthews, Irene Leahy, Maggie Newton and Kathleen Gobbart up against Jill Cornish, Dianne Marquet, Jeanette Clout and Lois Waters. Val Febo back on deck today after a little bit of a one-day bug. I'm not quite sure what happened, but I'm back and I'm very glad to be back and not in bed this morning as, a wrong bias on the next rink over in the trial ends. Or no, I think that is trial ends, I believe. Yes. And Val Febo is back, and Paul Holschke, the man of the people, he put in a massive day yesterday. Paul, welcome.
Good morning, Val. It's great to have you back. We did have a great day with Ellen Faulkner.
You and Els were brilliant yesterday. I tuned in for a little bit.
3-time gold medalist for England, and now calls Australia home.
She does.
And she came down at the very last minute. Bit of an SOS call and dashed down. And
was I would have preferred to have been here yesterday, that's for sure, but I had a hell of a lot of sleep over the last couple of days. I think I slept about 13 hours from Sunday night all the way up to yesterday morning. So was not sure what exactly happened, but I'm glad to be back out in some sunlight, that's for sure.
And it's good to see, Val. You've brought the sun. It's a beautiful day here.
Sunny yesterday.
A beautiful day here at Club Tweed. We've got a little bit of breeze. It's coming in from the northeast. Which, just keeps things a bit more interesting.
Yes, and what we should do, Paul, is we should go through the ladder ahead of what is going to be a pulsating final round. So Victoria in the women's, we'll start with them. Victoria lead, they're on top, looking to become the first state to take home a three-peat of any sort in the Senior Sides Championship. So they are 5-1 after a shock loss to the ACT yesterday. So that was in the second round of the day. Had they won that, they'd be home and host pretty much. But Queensland also 5-1. Victoria take on the Northern Territory in the last round, so you'd think they should get that done. And Queensland take on New South Wales in what's going to be a tough match. New South Wales in third, South Australia 3-3 in fourth. ACT 3-3 in fifth. That's where we find ourselves right here. Tasmania 2-4 in sixth. WA 2-4 in seventh, and the Northern Territory yet to register a win. So it looks like it's probably going to be Victoria on the women's side of things, but South Australia looking to become the first state to take home the John Dobby AM Trophy, and they are 5-0. One draw after yesterday's medical mishap in the morning. That didn't sound good at all from what I've heard, but I'm glad everyone is okay. New South Wales sits second on 5-1. Queensland in third, also on 5-1, so they'll be jostling to try and give South Australia a little bit more pressure. Victoria on 3-2. They were 2022's championships with a draw as well. ACT in fifth on 2-4. Western Australia also 2-4. The NT 1-5. Tasmania 0-6. However, South Australia will take on Tasmania in the final round. So you'd think that for both ladder leaders taking on a side that hasn't won yet, it should almost be the title in the bag. But we have seen drama like this before.
Yes. And what about which state do you think is in the running for the Glen Basisto overall?
Glen Basisto is quite interesting because South Australia are first and fourth respectively. That's the same with Victoria. So maybe it could be a Queensland or New South Wales that take that. So we could have three different states taking home each respective overall trophy on the final day of action in 2024. Very excited to see how it all turns out. And Western Australia and the ACT have started proceedings here. WA, I believe, and, right on the money.
Jill Cornish from Belconnen. Not Jill, sorry. Liz Matthews from Manning, WA, who's on the jack. And currently we have Di Marquet.
Di opens it up nicely. So
wow.
If you have just joined us over this week, it is 21 ends, untimed. So they can go for as long as they like, but dare say it's about 4 hours, 3.5, 4 hours is probably what you're looking at in the end. So you and I are going to spend a lot of quality time together this morning, Paul, as well as Robbie Allen, who's adjusting our pictures. He's done a great job.
This is a good
Irene Leahy.
bowl by Irene Leahy.
And looking at Lois Waters here, she's got a cast on her arm, so hopefully she's okay. And this is the beauty of bowls. If you injure your non-dominant arm, you can still come in and play the sport.
Absolutely.
Might affect your delivery method a little bit, but you can
I've
get
seen
used
bowlers
to it.
on moon boots and little buggies and all sorts of weird and wonderful contraptions that keep them bowling when there's some type of impairment. But it's a great participation sport, and the beauty of bowls is anyone can play. So we have, I think this is Maggie Newton coming down for her first bowl of the day, and she's just added to the count.
So WA will really be looking to get themselves another victory here. They started in tough fashion, losing their first few. Beat South Australia when South Australia were on top of the table, which was a pretty decent victory. South Australia went 2-1 in rinks. And that's a nice delivery. Just going to drift through. It might have done enough for shot. One down for the ACT, so still one.
That was a great bowl by Jeanette Clout.
Any relation to Daryl, I wonder?
Well, I'm not sure. That's
I think
good
it's
question.
a pretty common name.
Maybe our viewers might be able to help us, and welcome viewers.
Yes.
Those tuning in from around this great country of ours and around the world. And
Holski goes global.
We are very honoured to be able to bring you this last round of the 2024 Australian Senior Sides Championships here at Club Tweed, the amazing Club Tweed. If you've never been here before, I recommend you put it on your bucket list. Come and have a look. They have 5 greens, 4 grass greens and an indoor green. They are the home of the Australian Indoor Championships.
They are. What a tournament it was this year. Jack McShane winning the men's, and
played brilliantly.
he was stunning.
Unflappable, I'd call him.
Then Kelsey Cottrell. What a final that was against Chloe Stewart.
You wouldn't expect anything different from Kelsey Cottrell. She's the world number 1 for a reason. So we'll look forward to seeing Kelsey over the coming days when the open sides commence their play on Thursday.
Yes.
We'll be bringing that to all our viewers.
Sure will. Little rest day for the live streaming tomorrow because there's no action. We're not coming to stream the practice matches, that's for sure.
We could, maybe we could have a little run and we could show our wares.
Maybe we'll play a test against one of the states. What about me and you against Aaron Sheriff's rink, Paul?
Easy.
Just drive him out.
He won't know what's hit him.
Yeah, because he'll be up 40-0 after 10 ends.
Anyway, back to this. WA holding 1.
So skips come down.
Jeanette's asking Lois Waters from Canberra Bowling Club to just come down on her forehand. Try and sit out that WA bowl. We'll have to find out what happened to her arm. Hopefully it doesn't have an impact on her...
It doesn't seem to have been so far. Is that one? Oh, wow.
Oh.
That's fortunate. Could be one to the ACT here.
No.
Unless that white bowl. No, the white bowl's
still the white bowl. The WA.
Oh, that's pretty close.
And we have Kathleen Gobbart.
She's definitely represented at national level at the Oz Champs and so on.
She's from the Gin Gin Bowling Club, which is just north of Perth.
Gin Gin Bowling Club.
And she is a Western Australian Hall of Famer.
Wow.
Inducted in 2022.
And this could be why. Kathleen Gobbart. That was very close. Great effort.
Could it be a second shot? Let's wait and see. It's definitely one.
She might have just done it. Are we going to get a measure in the opening end?
It's 2.
Wow. It's a great start.
She drew the shot.
That is a sensational delivery.
That's why she's been a Hall of Famer. Apparently she's won more club singles and singles events than just about anyone else. She's got a sublime record over there in Western Australia.
So one end down and WA take the lead 2-0. And of course the big master board on the top right-hand side of your screen, and all of the rinks are on the bottom middle to left of your screen. So looking forward to seeing how all of them work out. WA on top and ACT on the bottom.
Okay, leading off for WA, Liz Matthews from the Manning Bowling Club. She's represented the state previously. And Jill Cornish from Belconnen Bowling Club in Canberra is leading off with, looks like orange with yellow speckles, flicks through her bowls.
Looking nice. Tell you what, Paul, I've had my first proper coffee in about 3 days this morning, and it is going down extremely nicely.
Yeah, that's what I need. I need my cup of tea.
Missed coffee.
Oh, that's a great bowl by Liz. So WA holding one.
And I've also got my Barocca and water. So trying to really get the fluids up.
So Jill coming down on her back end. Looking for a little trail. Just slides on past. Okay. Irene Leahy from Kalgoorlie.
Wow.
She'd have many a story to share, I would imagine. Life in Kalgoorlie, I don't think it'd be ever dull.
Have you ever been up that way?
I've never been to Kalgoorlie, but I've heard it's an interesting place.
I haven't been to WA properly since 2008. I would have liked to have gone last year. I stopped over in Perth during my flight to Birmingham a couple of years ago. But
well, last year we were in WA for the Nationals. And I was fortunate enough to be over there, and we got to hear Clive's dulcet tones. Last year we were playing at the Sorrento Bowling Club, which
looked like a picturesque venue, didn't it?
Oh, it was a spectacular place.
So we're at 2-2 on the master board. That's after one end on each respective rink. The ACT have taken one on both of the other two rinks to lead. So this is the only rink where WA are leading, albeit that's just after the solitary end. So it's the beauty of this tournament. All right, we do apologise. We unfortunately we didn't know. So BowlsLink had not updated the changes to the Western Australian team. So we'll bring you the actual positions now. So it's Irene Leahy leading, Maggie Newton in second, Liz Matthews is third, and Kathleen Gobbart is the skip. So we do apologise for those who are watching on, and we've been updated by the WA team managers, and they've let us know.
And thank you to our viewers for...
yes, because that could have been quite embarrassing.
Yes, that would have been. So, yes. Unfortunately, we don't know all of our players. So we are very reliant upon what it says on BowlsLink. But hopefully that's all updated now. All right. Just. So ACT holding 1. Beautiful bowl by Jeanette Clout. So we do know Kathleen Gobbart.
We do.
That hasn't changed.
It's the only one that hasn't changed.
She's still the skipper.
So we're okay. We've been getting 25% of it right.
And if she bowls like she did on the previous end, not on this occasion, just hanging out a little bit on the wide side.
So that is the side that is going to turn more, as we've seen over at Club Tweed for the last week and a bit. Last week. We've been up here for a week, Paul.
Is
the
that
Nationals. Right? Today is
what day is it today, Val?
Today's day 8 of the 2024 Nationals.
What day is it? Tuesday?
Tuesday, yes. Started last Tuesday evening. So we've done 7 different days.
Well, I was at the Paras, so we started on the Wednesday.
Last Tuesday night, we moved into the indoors with the Champion of Champions, but that feels like an eternity ago now. So
and our winners were?
Winners were Jacob Nelson and Chloe Stewart, all Queensland affair. Clean sweep for the home state of the 2024 Nationals. And
Kathleen looking to come down on her forehand, left of screen, looking to either push her front bowl up or rest on the ACT bowl, but unfortunately just slid on past. So, can Lois add a second on the second end? She's got good line here, Val. How's her speed?
She's pretty good. Oh no.
What? Oh.
I think they're 1 down now. She's not happy. Well, is it 1 down or is it more?
I think it's 1 down. At least 1.
So it is WA.
Oh.
It was just the weight control there from Lois Waters just wasn't right, and 3-0 is the scoreline to this WA foursome of Irene, Leahy, Maggie Newton, Liz Matthews and Kathleen Gobbart.
It's risk and reward, Val.
It is. Sometimes if you arrive with too much weight, it can just be at your own detriment, but oh well, it happens at times. You just got to rebound and focus on the future. Did that jack remain in bounds? No, it didn't.
You just need to take a little bit more grass.
So that's
make sure you miss on the wide side rather than yeah. But anyway,
how costly could that be, Paul? Miss jack roll out of play. So great to be here at Club Tweed after barely seeing the outside of bed yesterday.
It's good to hear you're back.
Nice to be here. I managed to labour down to Woolworths just to grab some bare essentials because I realised I had no food for dinner. I literally just had some pumpkin soup at about 9 o'clock and that's about it.
You had some pumpkin soup?
I did.
Very healthy of you, Val.
Oh, it was all I could stomach, really. So it's nice to be back and have face-to-face interactions with people.
All right. So we have Irene leading. Irene Leahy.
That's going to miss into an okay home. It's going to go a fair way back, but if WA need to trail it or use a little bit of weight.
So for the viewers' information, teams are allowed to change their order only within their team.
Yes.
They are not allowed to change players across rinks.
Imagine you could. That would cause us so many problems in commentary for fours.
So Irene with her second bowl. She's got the blue bowls.
And it's great this tournament because you don't often get to see a lot of these bowlers, so we're getting to see a lot of these people for the first time, which is absolutely fantastic. From my point of view anyway, I know a lot of people that are watching have seen these bowlers before and know them quite well, but...
great bowl by Irene.
Nice correction.
Taking 1. It has now forced Jill to swap hands. Now coming down on her backhand to the right of the screen. Just looking to arrive. Put another bowl in the head. I think she's done this quite well.
This is nice.
Val.
Wanted a bit of jack. Didn't quite.
Might be enough for the shot though.
Jill Cornish.
Kathleen or Kathy. Just letting us all know that it's up and down. All right, so
Maggie
we
Newton.
have Maggie Newton, yes, from the Leahy Bowling Club.
This is on a pretty good track, Paul. Well pointed.
Very
Needs
well
the weight. That'll
I think
do
that
enough.
is definitely the number one.
And Kathy puts up one finger. Not that finger, but the... realised after
I think she
said
was
it.
kind of happy.
Yep. Yep, the pointer finger.
All right, Dianne Marquet.
So this is on the more swooping hand here. So she's tossed it out on a wider line.
And did you know that Di is the president of Bowls ACT?
I did know that, actually.
So this is her first year in the role.
Working closely with Nick Hind then, I believe. Nick Hind is leaving us at Bowls Australia to head to Bowls New South Wales. So I'm glad that he is staying in the sport, but we will definitely miss him. Our skateboarding aficionado. Spent a lot of time with Nick at my first event at Moama, so he's a great fella, and that is a brilliant bowl from Maggie Newton.
Fantastic bowl.
As her namesake Bert Newton would say, good morning, Australia. She is up.
And about.
Remember that show, Good Morning, Australia?
I never watched it.
I was more a Kerry Ann viewer when I was home on school holidays. Not a bad finish.
I lived in the country, Val, so we went outside and played. Or
Was a bit, no, this was only early noughties, Paul. I think you lived in Melbourne by then, surely.
I was either working or doing whatever.
That's true.
Morning.
Yeah, morning TV is something that you either watch on school holidays or you don't watch at all.
Well, I'm in the never watch.
I was, there's these pages on Facebook that's like Australian millennials, like your typical day at home sick or day, or when you're on school holidays. It was into Kerry Ann, into Ellen DeGeneres, into Ready Steady Cook, Huey's Cooking Adventures, and Judge Judy.
I remember seeing Huey's Ready Steady Cook.
I did love Ready Steady Cook. That was a great show.
They really simplified it.
Yep. Fantastic. They never bought food that I would like, though. No one ever bought chocolates or desserts. It was always stuff that I wasn't fancying at the time. Can appreciate it more now.
Meanwhile, WA is still holding one with that wing bowl to the left of screen. But it looks like ACT have got second and third shot.
And throughout the morning, of course, if these aren't the states that you fancy watching, we're going to bring you updates from, and why wouldn't you want to watch them, because they are fantastic bowlers. But if you are from another state and you have vested interest elsewhere, we will bring you updates of what's happening around the greens here. The 4 magnificent greens of Club Tweed, and we've got some brilliant contests to come. Northern Territory and Victoria, that's going to have some permutations on the winner. New South Wales and Queensland as well. Tasmania and South Australia. That's what's happening around this border city.
All right. Jeanette with the yellow bowls. Looking to draw on her backhand. Trying to add a second shot. No, take the shot, I'm sorry. And she has. Great bowl by Jeanette Clout. So ACT now holding one.
It's funny, Paul. We have an event in one of the most southern towns of New South Wales and one of the most northern towns of New South Wales. We've got one in Moama at the Moama Bowling Club, and then we've got one at Club Tweed. And if you look at it, we're pretty much, if you look at the map, we are essentially on opposite ends of the state as to where we go in February, but both in the same state, which is unbelievable. both magnificent clubs, and we've been to many now at Bowls Australia for live streaming, and it's absolutely fantastic.
Kathleen. She's going to come down on her forehand. She's either going to try and knock up her front blue bowl or come under it and try and sit on the yellow ACT bowl, or she's just going to draw the shot through that gap. She's going to look to arrive on her own. Well, it opens it up, Val, so for her next shot she now has a couple more options. She can either remove that bowl on either hand, or she could dead draw it.
Bit of a breeze coming through, different direction to what we've had in the last few days here at Club Tweed. Flags pointing the other way.
Okay, Lois.
What has she got? She's
looking to draw a second, or at least protect her shot bowl. Had good speed there, Val. Just not enough grass. Okay, what is Kathleen going to do here?
Big bowl, because they are in tight scraps across the other two rinks. Down 3-0 on the Chalmers Stitt rink, and then 1-1 after 2 on the Warburton Hunt rink.
She's just looking to arrive on that yellow bowl.
Just going to drift under. So they will get on the board, barring catastrophe here. And catastrophe occurred in the last end.
What do we do now, Val? She had the shot on the last end.
I think all you need to do is maybe arrive on that bowl, sort of dead draw weight.
A dead draw, and if she can just move the jack back.
Yeah, half the jack. You can make 3, 4.
She could make 4 or potentially even 5. But
I think that's what they're looking at here. So she'll come on the forehand, I would say. It's a tighter line, but we are a bit further in from the ditch. So
it's a longer end. All right.
It's going to be...
she's taking...
Has she declared this?
Oh, my goodness.
Wow, okay.
I am shocked.
Look,
I am shocked.
There's better minds out there than me.
There
but
was an opportunity to make at least 3, maybe 4.
That was a golden opportunity. Maybe they just wanted to get on the board.
A little bit frightened from her previous end.
So
she didn't want a repeat of giving the shot away.
3-1. That means the ACT are on top on the master board, 5-4.
It's a game of risk and reward. Deal or no deal. And she took the deal. She took the 1. I'm not sure what Robbie would have done. I reckon Robbie would have drawn in and tried to extend the lead. Or create the lead, I'm sorry. All right, so Jill, they're sliding through. And Irene. Leahy from Kalgoorlie. Look forward to going to visit there one day. Slipping on through. As they say, just need a little bit more grass. It's selecting the right line and the right speed, which makes this game a little bit tricky. But Jill Cornish, what a bowl. She has mastered that one. Puts ACT in a good spot as we welcome Doug, the bowl's WA president, who's just walked in. It's good to see
all the dignitaries here, Paul.
Yes, it's good to see them arriving.
Fantastic.
Supporting their team.
It is great, and they've got another 4 days of action coming up as well, with the Australian Sides Championships to commence on Thursday morning, 8:30 a.m. local time, and very much looking forward to that.
We should get Doug on the live stream here, say a few words. All right,
Yeah, we'll get him on at some stage.
Doug's going to come back and join the commentary for a little bit. Oh.
Who's coming off, you or me, Paul?
Well, great bowl by Di, adding a second shot. ACT holding 2. What can Maggie do here? She just needs to come in and land on that purple ACT bowl. Oh, great effort there. Maybe reduce the count to 1.
So played 3 of 21 ends here. We've actually been going at pretty quick pace, in all honesty, Paul. It's been a very fast morning. They're not mucking around.
They certainly haven't mucked around. They've got into it.
This is close. Just going to cut underneath. To an okay home there.
It's not a bad bowl by Di.
Yeah, looking forward to the next few days, Paul. Tomorrow, obviously, nothing for streaming purposes.
So what are you going to do with yourself tomorrow, Mel?
I'm just going to continue to rest, I think. I had a whole big day planned for Wednesday, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get out and do what I wanted. I was going to drive up to Broadbeach.
So the question is, are you going to go for a swim?
Maybe.
Ooh.
I might. Well, depending on how I feel, really. I was going to go for a nice long walk, but it's probably out of the equation now.
Okay, Robbie, who's holding? It looks like the WA bowl is holding shot.
Yep.
It's hard to tell from this angle, but the side
I'd
angle...
say no, the ACT... No, WA, sorry.
WA
yes.
bowl.
The front bowl. Around the back there, Jeanette. But yeah, no, I think tomorrow I'll just take it easy, maybe go for a drive somewhere and enjoy the day off, have a bit of a rest again, and be fit and firing for Thursday morning. I think that's
sounds like a good plan, Val.
Very important to be.
It's a big day tomorrow too. AFL draft finals day.
Trade, you mean?
Trade day, I mean.
Oh, nothing's happened so far.
Oh, there's going to be a lot happen today.
Carlton might be up for pick 3, Paul.
Oh, wouldn't that be good? We need a bit of help. What?
A bit of help. You're a
great
finals
try
side.
There by Liz.
You're a finals team, Paul.
Liz Matthews representing the Manning Bowling Club.
I think the Richmond Daniel Rioli trade might get done today, so Daniel Rioli after today will not be one of my favourite players going to our old coach.
Well, you must be happy that Dustin decided not to...
I'm wrapped. I'm really happy. Dusty going to the Gold Coast would have been our worst nightmare, I think. Just sad he's gone, really.
I suspect he'll probably move up there, though.
He might, but
he might
get out of the limelight.
Find a way to help out and be involved in the club, but
get out of the limelight.
He won't be putting the boots on anyway. He'll remain a 301 game play for the Richmond. 302. I do apologise.
It's just a shame that his last game was against North, a loss against North at Marvel Stadium. There's not really much glamour in that, is it? Is there?
Oh, well.
You can't all go out on top with everything else he's achieved. He had
his swan song at the MCG against Hawthorn that day where you flew back and...
and it was worth it for 5 minutes when he kicked the opening goal. The roar that day when he kicked that was as loud as I've heard across the grand finals, and it was just nuts.
Well, isn't that
92,000 for a 300th game. That just shows the gravitas that he has, and he will be sorely missed.
He certainly will.
Our greatest ever player. I know a lot of people say Royce Hart, but it's Dusty.
Well, Lois, one down on the head, trying to draw in on the forehand. Unfortunately, he's just gone out a little bit wider than she would have liked, but her weight is exceptional.
Was good weight. Who would you say Carlton's best ever player would be, Paul?
Oh, that's a tough question.
Because
Jezza, big...
Bruce Dool would probably be up there.
Big Nick.
Sticks Kernahan, John Nichols,
Craig Bradley.
Kuda Feedies.
And Kuda, he's probably the best player ever to have graced the AFL field.
And that one just cutting underneath there for
people
Kathleen
may argue with me, but Kuda is probably the only player that's played every position on the field.
right up there. And Patrick Cripps is slowly starting to make his case to becoming the greatest ever blue. I think a premiership would put him right up there.
Exactly. Well, unfortunately, the poor guy's got a has to have wide shoulders to carry the team.
Yep. And this one's coming around pretty nicely here for Lois Waters. Just not getting there. So Kathleen with an opportunity to get a second and put WA back up on the masterboard.
So she'll be coming down on her backhand. Just looking to draw it in. Can she do it?
So apparently we did miss a signal before. It was 2 on that last end previously that WA won. So they're up 4-1 here. We did think it was 3. Has she got enough on this? It's close. Just drifting through. And that'll be 1 more to WA. So they take a 5-1 lead here. This rink keeping the Western Australians well and truly in this. They're ahead on the masterboard, despite being in front on only the 1 rink of the 3. So Kathleen Gobbart and her team of Irene, Leahy, Maggie Newton and Liz Matthews doing the job at the moment here at Green 1 on Club Tweed. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on those AFL trades today as well, Paul, for those that might be interested in watching this, and see how we go.
Anyway, we're at the bowls. So WA 5-1 after 4 ends, with Irene Leahy leading off on the forehand. It's not a bad start. Got 1 in there. What can Jill do? She hasn't started too badly this morning, Jill. The orange bowls. She's got good line here, Val. How's her speed? It's pretty good, and that will be 1. Oh, it's hard to tell.
It's close.
It's very close.
Probably 1 to WA at the present, I'd say. Looking at the Jack High almost bolt. And they do lead on the masterboard thanks to a 2 from Linda Warburton's rink. So Western Australia providing the goods so far.
Oh,
that is a nice bowl.
Cracking bowl by Irene.
So played 4 ends of the 21 here.
It's 1, maybe 2.
Got a little bit of jack movement that may have made it a 1. Probably won't stay that way anyways.
And Jill coming down. Just.
It's definitely only 1 now.
Definitely 2 good bowls by Jill.
Because now...
Very consistent. And that's the secret to this game, being consistent.
Because especially they're behind the jack. Now you crack an egg on that bowl and the jack is going straight back to those 2 from Jill Cornish.
That would be correct.
WA will want to try and avoid that from happening.
All right. Maggie Newton, just making sure she's got the backers bowl, covering the tee.
Well, there is no tee.
There is no tee, but if the jack finds its way through those 2 orange bowls, she will have the covering bowl.
Don't think they're going to be playing with that sort of weight, the ACT, but
we never know.
You never know. Sometimes you can misjudge it a little bit. Yeah, look, John saying we never had women's Queensland coverage. Unfortunately, we can't sometimes get to all the states. It just depends on where we are and what rinks are playing where. Unfortunately, we'd like to bring you absolutely everyone, but sometimes we can't always do that.
Well, there's only 7 rounds, so you can't cover everybody, Val.
No. That's exactly right.
We'll just have to get Robbie to get multiple cameras and we'll have different...
He's got plenty of them. It's no, look, it's unfortunately, we'd love to bring you absolutely everybody, but when there's only 8 rounds and 16 different teams, unfortunately, we can't always get to everybody. But look, we appreciate everybody watching, and there's still plenty to watch on offer, or plenty on offer to watch, and I hope you've enjoyed it.
Okay, Di coming down on her forehand. Looking. Oh. It's not a bad little home, though, if that jack does get. All right. Kathleen. Has asked Liz to change her hand. Well,
she had the right line to get what she was after. Just needed about another foot of weight, and she was there. So,
it could be a second shot.
The permutations here,
Close.
Paul, for the winner, and I know that we're not playing for a title here, but Western Australia, they can jump the ACT if they beat them, so they can move into possibly the top 5. If they do win, they can go to a 3 and 4 ledger. You expect South Australia to knock off the Tasmanians, but that could be pretty close. And Victoria and the Northern Territory, Paul, how is that going at the moment?
Which game, sorry, Val?
Victoria and the Northern Territory women.
Great bowl. And a toucher too by Liz Matthews. That's definitely 2. All right, which game were you after,
Victoria and Northern Territory women. That is a massive game in the scheme of things, and then we will get you the men, South Australia versus Tasmania.
Victoria versus Northern Territory in the women. Victoria after a flyer. They're leading 12-4 after 9 ends.
All right, and they win that. They are in front on all barring one rink, 5-1, 5-1 and 2 apiece. Bronwyn Haggart.
I think they only need 1 rink, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Yep, so Queensland are, what are they? Queensland are 2.5 rink points behind them, so if they win 1 rink, Queensland can't catch.
Well, Queensland are playing New South Wales, so it's a big grudge match, the State of Origin grudge match. Maroons versus the...
And the women, New South Wales women, are winning that, so Queensland, that is not what they're after if they are to win. So at the moment, it looks like Victoria are going for the 3-peat, 22, 23 and 24. Now
this big game, Queensland, New South Wales, this could potentially decide the Glenn Bazisto overall trophy.
Yes, it certainly could. And the Queensland men leading 16-14. That's after 13 ends already.
They're flying.
Wow. Now, what's happening in the South Australia-Tasmania men, Paul? Because that is a huge one in terms of the overall men's.
Well, it's close at this stage.
The John Dobby Trophy.
11, leading Tasmania 10, so it's only won the difference after 12 ends.
Wow, so as it stands, South Australia, with that 1-shot lead, they are going to win the title. That's as it stands now. And we'll get Doug Kelly on from Bowls WA. We'll get him on for a few minutes to have a little chat.
A short break.
See you, Paul.
Thank you, Val. We'll see you soon.
So, Doug Kelly about to join me, the Bowls WA president. About to jump on and have a chat as his state trails on the masterboard by 1. A big 3 picked up there by Catherine Hunt from 3-1 down. They're now 4-3 ahead. Very much looking forward to seeing how this pans out. So we're almost a quarter of the way through. And just make sure the microphone's all sorted there for Doug. Doug, welcome to Ringside Live. Great to have you as part of the show.
No, thank you. It's just a pleasure to be here. It's been quite an entertaining few days and looking forward to what lays ahead.
Yes, certainly. It's a big one for WA's women this morning because they can jump possibly into the top 5 with a win over the ACT today. So that's a nice little finish considering it was a bit of a slower start for the women.
No, correct. And that's just how sometimes it pans out. And, we're really excited that the women will do well and also the men. We had big expectations with our men's side this year as well. So they've come and it perhaps hasn't panned out as we had thought, but so be it. So I know everyone's giving 100% and the results are what they are.
Yeah, they certainly are. And looking at this, Kathleen Gobbart, she's probably put this out on a bit of a wider line here. On this hand, it is very tight, we know, on green 1, rink 1. And how long are you staying up here for? Are you up here for Australian sides as well?
No, I'll be back after the open side finishes their journey.
Yep.
Then I'll be back to the real world. So
back to the real world?
So for me,
that's all right. At least you're up here till Sunday?
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
That's it. So we're back. And that last bowl of Kathy's back home, we do a bit of live streaming, as you would know.
Yep.
We would have called that the Harold Holt, so there's no chance of that coming back.
I've never heard that before, but I do like it. I think it was 1 to WA there. That's a fantastic call. The old Harold Holt.
This won't come back.
Clive didn't come up with that for sure, did he?
No, but I do have to run him past Clive, as ringside live Clive, as we call him, ringside Clive. He does have to veto my little comments, and they go downhill from there is the problem, Val. So
I won't veto anything. You say what you like. Just we'll keep it PG anyway, Doug.
That may be something you'll regret, Val.
That's okay.
So
you only live once.
Yes. So we talk about our prep coming into this over 60 side series, well, all our prep. Greens aren't up to speed over the winter. Our climate doesn't allow it. So lots of synthetic. So in the bush, that's probably 95% of surfaces are already synthetic, and in metro we're up to about 50%.
Really?
Yeah. So what that means is our prep is done on some pretty quick synthetics over the winter as the fibre sort of tightens up. And
is there a lot of indoor as well, like undercover?
No, there's not. So we've got a few venues, but not like this. It's a much different sport in the dynamics and how it all operates where we are on the other side of the great continent of Australia. So it's different, but we don't have those indoor as much as we've got a few facilities. It's not to the extravagance as the ones we see up and down the strip here.
And that's why I think when you see Western Australian bowlers succeed at the highest level, and I know the ringside listeners will know that I harp on a lot about Christina Christic and how good she is, and what she's been able to achieve has been monumental for the sport in Western Australia. And I saw the footage at Mount Lawley when her and Els won gold. I never thought I'd see Clive dance, but I did see him dance in the footage. But, it's just wonderful to see so many Western Australians still succeeding. Lara Butler winning the AO singles this year while pregnant, which is just one of the most wonderful achievements that I've ever seen.
Yes, that's right. So great ambassadors for the sport as well. So it's one thing being an outstanding athlete and outstanding bowler, but it's another thing being a great ambassador for the game and carrying yourself like those two ladies obviously do, and we're really proud to have them in our midst. So we are privileged to have those two. So Chrissy is a great one. She'll give up her time for the under-18s and promotes the sport, and she came through that pathway as well. So it's really good they give back. So you don't see that on the screen, but we see it, and we're really proud.
And she is genuinely one of the best ambassadors for the sport that we have. She's wonderful and a great human to go with it, and Lara Butler also the same. And I think if you're looking at and also one thing I want to ask you now, you've lost Cody Packer to New South Wales. Is there going to be any sledging from ringside when Western Australia take on New South Wales?
Highly unlikely.
He's a good man, is Cody.
No, Cody's a great fella, and so's Hayley and his wife. And it was not something that our guys would do.
Well, they're going to be on the same green playing for different states, which I'm looking forward to seeing, actually.
When we talk of achievements that have happened during the year, we still include Cody. We still take ownership of Cody.
Well, you should.
Albeit we've only got him out on loan, so we look forward to his return.
Yes, and he will be playing the Australian Championship singles for Manning, I believe. Was it Manning or
Correct.
Osborne Park?
No,
Manning. Yep.
Manning had transferred over.
So he'll be playing and looking to defend his title.
Yes, good bowler. And great fella as well, Cody.
Yeah, I do love Cody a lot. We have a little thing at BPL when he's been there where we'll try and take random photos of each other, just like stalker photos. So we'll find each other through like little pockets at Pine Rivers or Moama. It's safe to say that I had him covered, but then he got me good at AO.
So it's good, and that's one of the beauties of sport, of this great game, is the humour and the fun that we still have it, off the green as well. So it's really important part of the fabric of bowls. As we see Liz Matthews come down and fall in for shot. Beautiful. So
it was a 2 on the last end. I only saw a one finger go up, so apologies, we did get that wrong there. So 7-1 on this rink, but the problem is a 13-0 lead to Mandy Stitt over Pamela Chalmers, and that is keeping the ACT ahead.
Including an 8.
Yes. Oh, was that an 8?
There was an 8, yes.
Oh, wow. That's very, very rare. We saw on Sunday, Bronwyn Haggart from the Northern Territory, she saved, I think it was 27 shots across 4 ends, and it was quite unbelievable. They were down 7, 7, 6 and 6, and she managed to draw a shot when she was down 7.
Wow.
And go 1 down when she was 6. It was quite remarkable.
Well, that's what they paid the big bucks to do.
Exactly right.
Numbers. And Pam that's been the outstanding rink for us in this over 60s ladies side. They have really performed well, and I think they had 4 wins coming into this. Gets me right. But anyway, they've been that, and to see them behind, but they've got real character within that group, and I'm sure they'll knuckle down. And the bad news is they're down by a heap. Good news is there's plenty of time to come back.
That's what I was going to say. There's still 16 ends to go, so 21 ends of 4s. You've just got to stay with your opponents. If you go down early, it doesn't really matter, and it's all about that masterboard. If you're down, it's okay because they're only down by 8.
Yes,
that's easy enough to come back from. We've got 49 ends to play across the 3 rinks, so that's where the beauty of sides is, because you've just got so much time to just chip and chip and chip.
Yep, absolutely. So Kathy's very well credentialed bowler, as I'm sure you've alluded to earlier on.
We've seen her many times across national events, Oz Champs and AOs as well. Kathy Gobbart. And this is very well pointed here. It might just cut underneath. Has she got the weight to stick around? Just going to drift through. So when did you get up, Doug?
So I lobbed in Sunday.
Yes,
so,
okay.
That was enough time. I have another life, as a lot of us still do, and so the week is a fair bit. And with my role as president, we do spend a fair bit of time out and about, not just within our own state, but as we have our meetings with the other states and territories, we do get together. And this year it was Sydney, and then earlier on in the Melbourne meeting, I ended up at Moama, so enjoying that and having a look at our Perth franchise.
So you did get down to the BPL at Moama?
Yes, I did. And
it's a great tournament, isn't it? That's a brilliant bowl there from Lois Waters. But yeah, Moama do a wonderful job at BPL. They are a great club to go to, and it was rocking this year.
Absolutely, and then for us it was Carl Healy was brought into our franchise, so that was great. So obviously with Blake and Christina, and then Carl coming on board, and just added another dimension, and we come so close to making the finals, and we really do enjoy it. Really, we get a lot of views in WA, and I do chase up the numbers and see, how we follow it, and we do watch a lot of live stream, well, all over Australia, but we certainly are very parochial in WA and did enjoy the coverage. Thanks for that.
For sure. And that's what I wanted to allude to after this bowl. I do want to ask you about the Bowls Premier League and what it looks like for the Perth Suns going into BPL 20. One of the only teams that hasn't had a change, as Lois Waters sends this in. It is going to come back. Has she got enough weight? Oh, yes.
A cracking effort.
Brilliant effort. That'll be number 1. So what is the total going to be? Quite see a signal. It was 2 there to the ACT. So 7-3 is the score. That's after 6 ends here on Rink 1, Green 1. But yeah, so BPL 20, it's going to be massive. Pine Rivers, 12 teams now, but the Perth Suns go in unchanged with Christina Christic, Blake Nairn, and Carl Healy, who I must say was one of the star performers
Absolutely.
of BPL 19.
Yes.
He really made that back end his own, and he was so clinical, and it was really unlucky that Alex Marshall was the one that had it in his hands in that final round, and that bowl sent Perth out of the finals. But I don't think that Perth have been better placed to re-enter that top 5 for I think it's BPL 12 the last time Perth made it, so I think they're pretty well placed to do so.
So we're really comfortable going back up into the next BPL with the team that we've got, and it's not that we didn't have options, it's the fact that we think we've got the best players in place. So we're comfortable with it all. They gel together, they support each other, and like you say, we got within a bowl of 2 of playing finals, which would have been really significant for us. So we've got Christina, Jackaroo, Carl Healy, Jackaroo, and Blake Nairn, outstanding in his abilities as well and his ability to deliver. So the rules changed slightly.
Yes, they have.
So that'll be interesting to see how. And we have a very good coach and manager in Billy Bredsma. And it was on the back. We listened to him as much as I was there. We listened to every word he says and agree with what he says. He's very highly regarded within WA, and I'm sure within Australia now people have seen him in action. So he'll be here for the side series, picked in the open side. So very good bowler, but a very good, astute man in all sorts of areas. But we trust in what he says, and he thinks that we can go a little bit further, and he's a good manager of people, is Billy, so very comfortable going in again.
And what I'm looking forward to seeing, and from all these new rule changes, you talk with Turles, and there's going to be a lot more attacking of the jack, and Blake Nairn, his drive is a registered weapon, so I think it's going to be a really interesting tournament to see how things go tactically, and it is going to change things up a little bit, and I'm looking forward to seeing how Perth go, because they haven't yet, they've been to the finals a few times, haven't yet won one. So if Perth can get themselves in and entrench themselves into this top 5 this year and go deep, I think the fans in WA, they are going to be rocking from wherever they're watching from.
Yeah, and they do watch it. I can assure you, because we get the feedback, so we know, and we get the numbers. So it's important for us to measure that. For us, it's quite an investment, as a state. So we have to be careful with our finances, and we see the return on that investment. And going that extra yard, like you allude to, would certainly help and justify our expense into it. We're confident. And as you say, the BPL has to keep on evolving. It can't just stay how it is, and bringing in that. And for me, and we talk about this at board level, with the BA guys, we talk about eventually there will be international sides, so we'll be bringing in who that may be will be decided going forward. I mean, we've got a lot of internationals there already.
Yep.
But I think you'll see some standalone ones, or maybe.
Well, we saw New Zealand.
Yeah.
The Blackjacks. They had a team briefly. They did win it in APL 3.
Yeah.
And then you look at Pine Rivers at the moment, or the Pirates. They've got an all international flavour with Alan Faulkner as coach, then Ryan Burnett, Alex Marshall, and Catherine Rednall. So first Australian-based team to have an all international lineup, which is great. I think it's fantastic to see that. They're not just. It's great that we're using Australian local talent, but to bring these international draw cards, I think, is so important to the competition to get eyeballs on and to showcase how good this event is.
We did come up with that terminology the other day. There's more money in eyes than there are in feet. So as much as we want everyone playing the game, we can watch it from anywhere and everywhere. So that's really important. And so if I think in the future, and you'll be calling these games, Val, is perhaps we'll be seeing a combination team somewhere out of Asia, and perhaps a great bowl there.
Yep.
Maybe we'll see a Indian/Malaysian, Hong Kong, Singapore, and these emerging bowls nations in their own right. And
that's exactly right. And you look at the world number 1 bowler at the moment. That's Izzat Zulkifli from Malaysia. He's up on top of the world at the moment. And then in the world bowls rankings. And then you've also got Nurul Alyani Jamil from Malaysia, plus Alina Nawawi. They're all been world champions, and they've been there and done that across international levels. So who knows? Who's to say that they can't come out and star at the BPL? It's going to be very exciting.
and it's the pathway that it'll change. You know, as they keep on evolving, I'm sure they would have had this discussion within the hierarchy at BA about evolving and where's the next part of the journey, and I'm sure there'd been discussions. Stretching out to 12 on that aggregate board, but long way to go, as we said.
Yes, so Masterboard says 22 to 10, but this end at the moment is controlled by the Australian Capital Territory. Probably set this out on a bit of a wider line here, Jeanette Clout. That is a tighter hand, we know. You've probably got to send it out to where that purple bowl is to allow it to come in, but it's a good home because if that jack does get spilled and that bowl does get obstructed, it's probably going to go out that way. And they've got good catches here at the ACT, so big bowl coming up for Liz Matthews, who's switched from lead to third. This is very tight, and it is going to duck under unless it holds out if she has the weight. Missing.
So Kathy will be on the mat with a little bit of pressure there, knowing she's got to convert.
Couple of the WA Open team watching on as well. Lisa Featherby, Deb Saunders as well watching on. So it's great to see so many people from WA here and supporting these over 60s because it is a great event and allows them. It's one of the only sports that allows you to continue to represent at the highest level when you do hit a certain age, and it is wonderful.
Absolutely, and we talk about the spread in demographics playing bowls from 12, just in the club I'm at, from 12 to 92. So that's a fair spread.
Wow, what club is that?
That's Aussie Park. I play a bit of few bowls there, and I play a bit in the country as well. So I mix up my time.
12 to 92.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant.
So it's really good, and that's we talk about the 4 major pillars within the sport, and that demographic and being able to spread it across those years is so important. So you're never lost to the sport. So no matter when you enter it, there's plenty of time to keep playing it. So interestingly, on this rink, one of the ladies who's not here, who fell ill just a week or two prior, Jill Adam. So she's recovering through her little starting a journey, but starting the treatment, and will be back up in the hometown of Geraldton. So everyone's
shout out to Jill.
Yeah, shout out to Jill. She's close in our thoughts as she's doing this, and she starts a journey. And we've been discussing her as we're here, and so we do miss Jill. She played last year, very good bowler, and she would have been on this rink.
Is that one just rocketing?
Not to be.
No. And it's unfortunate. We saw yesterday there was a health issue with one of the Victorian men, and Wayne Turley did a fantastic job. We're so glad that he's okay. That could have been harrowing for the tournament, but I'm so glad that everything's okay. And all the best to that player. And he ended up coming back and playing in the afternoon session that Victoria won. So that's absolutely fantastic to see him fit and healthy, because it's that would have been a right royal scare for everyone around that Victorian camp. So here is Kathy Gobbart looking to try and obstruct something. They are in front, but this is the only Western Australian rink that is on top at the moment. Need to keep chipping away at this masterboard. Down by 14, and that's pretty much just the one rink at the present. It's a 15-0 lead for Stitt over Chalmers.
So she can draw and count here. She wants to stay high side. I'm sure that was a call from the third. He's arrived.
Sort of around this purple bowl at around 7 o'clock. You stay around there, might be okay. This is probably a bit too high. It is going to come back, but it's just going to crash. But, or it might have just gone in.
So, but it does, that's downside for WA, but Kathy will see that as something she can potentially sit or use, slide
cut it
off.
Down.
Yep. And sometimes, oh no, is she going on to the other hand? She's going to go bigger.
She is. So Kathy Gobbart.
Oh no.
Looked like she was going with big weight there. This is going to turn, but I just don't know. I think she's powering a little bit too much here. And she is. So what is the count going to be? I can see probably 2 for the ACT. And that's exactly what it is. So the margin trimmed from 7-1 a couple of ends ago to 7-5, back-to-back twos for the Australian Capital Territory as they extend the lead on the master board to 16 shots, 26-10. We've played 7 ends here, so we're a third of the way through.
So you're calling every game right through from now? You don't get a break?
I'll get tomorrow, actually, because it's a rest day. Yes. I get tomorrow, and then I actually leave on Sunday night because I'm getting married next Saturday. So I've got the Oz Champs off.
Yes.
And looking forward to getting home and getting the final finishing touches on the wedding. And a bit disappointing that I've got to leave, but obviously a few something very pressing, which is exciting.
Yes. Yeah, exciting times.
Yeah. And had yesterday off, not feeling 100%, but it was very upset not to be here yesterday, but back on deck today.
Very good.
Yeah, but no, it's going to be a great week at the Oz Champs. WA have got their 2020. I think they won silver in the 2021 Oz Champs. Played in 2022, the Christina Christic Australian fours team. It was Helen Heel, Hayley Packer, so they're playing the Australian fours.
Yes.
And then the singles, I believe it's Chrissy again.
Yes, correct.
So WA got a couple of good teams coming through. Cody Packer, of course, looking to defend his title.
Spoke earlier.
This is a great bowl from Irene Leahy, but just coming across.
So Irene hails from Kalgoorlie, albeit she spent 20 years playing at Boulder. And if you're from that neck of the woods, you do not say someone is from Boulder when they're from Kalgoorlie.
Really?
Absolutely.
Bit of a rivalry.
Yeah, well, they're adjoining cities.
Right.
In the city of Kalgoorlie, but they join each other, and so... but never the twain shall meet. So that
it's like the old suburbs in Melbourne. If if you're from, say, Collingwood, but you play for Richmond, you're from Richmond.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Well, it's what it used to be anyway. Now it's a little bit more flippant.
Yeah. But she's back at Kalgoorlie now with the Boulder Ladies Club folding.
It is sad when you see clubs go down and fold, and I know COVID helped a lot of those happen, which was really disappointing. As this one here from Irene.
Great spot to be.
Yep. And she's had a couple. She's getting them behind, which allows Kathy to sort of play and use that arriving weight if she needs to.
And Kathy's more than capable of playing those weighted shots.
So, looking at Dianne Marquet now. We've just got Lois standing in the way there. Hopefully she does hop out. They've been pretty good actually this week, standing out of the centre line. We know that with fours it can get harrowing at times, and it can get you want to pull your hair out. But generally they've been pretty good this week.
I speak to our, whether it's the men's or a ladies event, about not standing and obstructing the view of the camera. And I go, obviously if we're live streaming. But I do put a proviso in there. If you think you're going to be short, narrow or wide, you can stand in front of the camera until your ball comes to rest and then get out of the way.
Yep.
But no, they do. They're really respectful of it, and they understand that we've got a job to do. They've got a job to do. So and they're really thoughtful with it, and some become conscious of it. It's really interesting. It's but then others, they love it. Yeah, Kathy will be thriving on this. She loves the stage and she knows how to perform on it.
And that's what I like as well. When the cameras come on and people just lift for the occasion, which is fantastic, and it's great to see. And what the one match that I think if you go back to and have a look where players did just continuously do it was that World Championship semi-final between Australia and Ireland last year. Yeah, I know. And look, we did explain, but sometimes the players just get so invested in the match that, it does happen.
And it makes it the great match is when they do get in the zone and their focus is really fixed, and cameras are just so they're there, so be it, and they play the game. But boy, we watched some great games during the World. Yeah, that was sensational. That singles victory by Aaron Sheriff. Watching and listening to the commentary on that game, that was what a game. And then if you look at the Worlds last year, the best match that I think I called from that tournament was the triples match between Australia and France. The French guys had been bowled. This was at Mudgery Bar. The French guys had been bowling for maybe
some of them had only picked up a bowl 5 weeks before that. And they were right on the money from the get-go and pushed Australia all the way. Then in the final end, thunderstruck, and we had to go off for about 40 minutes. And then Australia they had the end constructed perfectly. They were going to win, and then they had to come out and replay it and got the job done in the end. It was so close, but had France drawn or won that, Australia don't go through and they don't win the title.
So Petanque skill set transfers over?
Well, one of them had played Petanque for a really long time and then got selected for Worlds for France, and another one of them, Thomas Royer, ended up proposing to his girlfriend on ringside and said, marry me, Kiki, and she did say yes. I wonder if they have had the wedding. I'd like to know. So if anybody does know Thomas Royer, send it in the comments. I'd like to know if they've had the wedding or they're at least planned it.
Yes, well, you do get feedback and comments coming from overseas. So
we do.
I'm not sure of the time in...
It's, I think, midnight in France, or maybe 1 a.m. So this one here is a tighter line, just not going to hold, so really precarious head for Western Australia at the moment. They've got a lot behind. Is this the opportunity for Liz Matthews to try and trail this jack? And yeah, she's gone for it, but I don't know if she sent this wide enough. And the weight was pretty much spot on. Just needed maybe a little bit more just to try and nudge that jack. So that's what Kathy's going to try and do, because they've got a lot of catches. It's like a little slips cordon back there.
So Kathy will reach. She knows the drill. She knows what it has to be. I'll be very surprised if she doesn't either get the shot or use the correct weight. A combination of both will be what she needs. A little trail.
So just one rink at the moment that's causing Western Australia a lot of problems, and that's the middle rink, 15-0 in favour of Mandy Stitt over Pamela Chalmers. Here they're in front. And then Linda Warburton and Catherine Hunt, that is neck and neck, 5-6 in favour of the ACT. And that masterboard pretty much shows that the middle rink is all the difference. There's Deb Saunders in the background.
And Margaret Anderson, who is the selector/manager.
Deb was a semi-finalist in the women's pairs, I believe, at the AO with Hayley Packer.
Yeah, Deb's first time in the stateside. So this is a great bowl as well. Well, this does... Well, in essence, it doesn't. So the weight still be there. She has to get it up and over.
Yep. Just hit that bowl, and they've got the catches there. Could possibly lie 3.
That's right. So she's calling her where second shot is.
Kathleen Gobbart.
So I'm not sure if Deb ends up on live stream at any stage, but she's a goofy footer. So she bowls off the wrong foot as we know it. Obviously, it's the right foot for her being a right-hander.
Whatever works for you. If you can repeat something over and over again and get it right, then each of their own. That's the beauty of this sport.
Yes, absolutely.
So what has Kathy Gobbart got? It's coming. Just did she have the right weight? No. Very close. That's a nice sight-up. Just needed a foot more, and that jack was getting spilled because she doesn't want to go overweight with her shot because doesn't want the jack to spill anymore. So what can she do with her last? Lois Waters. The fact that you can play with a cast on at the highest level is just another testament to how inclusive this sport is.
Oh, it's so important. It's one of the things I really love about it, and I do get involved with our Denise McMillan, who manages that part of our sport in WA, and go to everything from the vision impaired, which I really enjoy going to, and also our all abilities part of our sport. I just love it. It's just great. It just shows that diversity, that inclusion. We embrace it all. So it's one of the things that we have as a sport that sets us apart from others.
You're 100% right. And I think if you look at what Jodie Nikolic from Yanchep is achieving, bronze medalist And then a couple of years ago, she was the Clover Lester Encouragement Award recipient. And look at what she's done in 2 years. She's a right-at-home emerging para-jackaroo now. And it's just so impressive. And I don't know if you heard her the other day in commentary, but I think she might have a budding career behind the microphone. She'll tell you otherwise, but she was sensational.
There's no ceilings that Jodie hasn't pushed through yet, and this would just be another one.
Extraordinary human.
When she's on her bowls journey, but boy, I'd love to, at some stage, for her to become a coach and be able to coach, from the chair, because, and it's she has ability. She can talk the talk. She really knows how to get involved and get people intrigued and listening. She's a great scout.
So Kathy Gobbart, this is a really big bowl in the context of things here, because they've got the lead in the Linda Warburton and Catherine Hunt rink. They've taken a 2 there. It's 12 the difference. Has she sent this? It's going to come back. It's close. Kathy Gobbart might get a little rub. And then did she get it? I think she might have just. It's very close. The tape may come out. Would have just loved a little bit more of jack movement, because then they probably might have been one up there, just kicking them out here. So it's whether it's 1 to the ACT or 1 to WA. And the Western Australians, in terms of the masterboard, they want it.
So if 12 is over the 3 rings, it's not that far.
No, not
to
at
get
all.
back, and with 63 ends to be played, whereas just barely a third of the way into the journey, so plenty of time.
1 to the ACT, I believe. I think I can't quite see the signal there on camera. Was it a 2? I think it might have been a 2 to the ACT. Not quite sure, but we'll double check that. We'll call it 7-all for now. So back-to-back-to-back 2s. And from 7-1 down 3 ends ago, the ACT have levelled proceedings in the margin back to a very handy 14 on the masterboard. 28 to 14, but 43 ends to play. So we are nowhere near the finish line.
No, and it's just patience. Go back your process and just build pressure, and we'll just see what happens from there. The weather's been kind. I mean, as in, yes, it got wet earlier. And
barring, for this event, it has been extremely kind. But the champion of champions and para nationals, they'll tell you otherwise, because that was. Have you seen the photos?
Well, I did from when they had the massive rain, because I did get flicked through from. We've got Peter Harris, who's our high performance manager in WA, and he flicked me through one, and with the amount of water that was that one, and that's the photo that I got. And I just said to him, more weight, less grass, and he said, "Oh no," he said, "There's no grass, there's only water."
Yep.
So yeah, was wet as wet, but they just drain. We can't get over how they drain.
Exquisite. 2 ripping opening bowls here from Irene Leahy and Jill Cornish. But yeah, the drainage on these greens is magnificent. It's a testament to how the greenkeepers have worked, and they've done an amazing job. 1 to the ACT with 2 extremely close bowls.
And while we're on just not to the greens, I spoke to Gerard Robinson, who's the CEO, also a board member of BA, yesterday, and had a good chat with him about all the things that are going on and just how well they run this event. But for them, it's not ho-hum, don't get me wrong, but they're so used to catering for big events that they just do it at an extremely high level.
This place, I saw it for the first time last year for the indoors, and didn't get a full chance to go and explore it, but had a quick look this year. That's a beautiful bowl from Irene Leahy. They're holding 2. That is brilliant. But yeah, and you look at, there's a bistro downstairs. There's a cafe and restaurant upstairs. There's pokies if you want to go play those. I know Clive Adams, he loves it. He absolutely loves it, and I dare say he'll be in there at some stage. And then there's an in-house bakery, there's an in-house butcher, there's shop fronts, there's 4 outdoor greens, there's an indoor green, there's a bowl shop. You've got absolutely everything at this place. It is the hub of the community. It's massive. And it's a wonderful place to be, and it's constantly a hub. You never feel lonely here, and all the people are so accommodating.
Absolutely.
The volunteers are wonderful, always up for a chat, and yeah, it's been awesome.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. And to Jared's credit, he doesn't sit in his office, and great bowl again. Oh,
Probably didn't want to spill it out, yeah. Interesting.
He's out and about, walking the floors, talking to everyone, networking, doing his juice. Absolutely good to see that sort of passion and professionalism in his job. I really did enjoy it, and great for a chat. Very great person to have on the board of Bowls Australia. Oh, here we go. Flops the wrong way.
Fallen out. So we'll try and have a look at some live scores and what's happening at the moment, because there are a lot of matches that are going to decide the title here this morning. South Australia and Victoria, men's and women's respective leaders, Australian Senior Sides Championship. So let's have a look and see what the scores are doing this morning as we head down to the final round. So Victoria in the women's currently leading 12-4 after 9. And that hasn't been updated for a while. So 12-4 after 9, Victoria, as it stands, will win. Tasmania's men lead South Australia's men. They are winless at the moment, Tasmania. South Australia just need to win, and they go through and take the John Dobby Trophy. But they're down by 2 with still 39 rinks to go. So that is a very, very, very important matchup, because Queensland's men, well, they're trailing New South Wales men. So if Queensland don't win, then South Australia still get up. There's so many permutations here to what can happen. So Victoria look like they're well and truly on their way. New South Wales, well, actually, New South Wales can also jump the South Australians. So it's all going to come down to rink points.
And that's the best way. It's just a perfect outcome when it's going to come down to the last end, hopefully. And as... Oh, they're trying to cover. That didn't quite get to where they want to be. And, of course, ACT have just can sit on that wall, down by 1.
Go up 1. They've won the last 3 ends. We're down 7-1. It's 7 apiece now.
I think perfect. They'd like to trail that Jackometer.
Oh, yeah. Jeanette, she's got the weight. She's looking very good. It's going to come back. Has she got the weight? It's close. Favouring still 1 to WA. The Jack High bowls tend to be the ones that are shot.
So, Kathy, does she put another one in there and sit on the face and play their shot? Yep, she can. So I think that bowl, that's the last bowl, may protect a trail with that. But the weight will be so important here. Come and sit on that. That second shot is the call. Liz, of course, hails from the Manning Club, very successful club, Manning Memorial, as we call it.
They've got a hell of a lot of good players. Christina Christic, Therese Hastings, Hayley Packer.
Therese has shifted up to Quinns now. So
she's moved, has she?
She's moved, yeah.
She's become a trader. We do love Therese. Yeah, her and Ian are just wonderful, wonderful people.
What they have given to bowls in WA and Australia is remarkable and highly respected, highly regarded. Actually, I look forward to a catch-up when they get here.
Yeah, I've seen Therese hanging around. She's also an Australian selector.
Yes.
Was the Western Australia Pathways coach as well, and she's hung up the bowls.
So they live north of Perth now, and then so the Quinns is the nearest metro club, and they travel down, and she's playing there. Ian's doing some coaching / mentoring at Cardinia, which will improve them. Already Cardinia's a great club, but they certainly will be better with Ian Hastings in their midst.
If your last name is Hastings, I think your bowls mind is pretty darn good, as this one from Lois Waters just drifts under. She had the weight, and we know what she was trying to do, but on this hand, you just have to put it out a little bit wider, because it is going to come back. That's what we've seen over the last week here at Club Tweed. So now Kathy Gobbart looking to put the lead back 16-0 in the second ring to Mandy Stitt. That is a big start for the ACT. Linda Warburton and Catherine Hunt, they're going shot for shot. Catherine Hunt's ACT team back in front. Here, if she can just sit the front bowls, it's just, again, the weight, the issue. Not too much wind today. It's pushing a different direction as it has been. It's usually been coming off the water to the... I think
So
it's sort of against.
A bit more height here. Will that swoop back from there, Val?
It might, depending on the weight. It's looking pretty good here from Lois Waters. Has she got enough? Oh, it's very close. I think she's just out. But yeah, on these hands away from the ditch towards the middle of the green, they are coming back hard.
Oh, Kathy.
I think she's
took the one. She
taken the one.
Well, I think she could see what could go wrong rather than what could go right.
And sometimes you just have to look at that master board and say, you know what, we just need to get back on the board and get things rolling. So 8-7 in favour of Western Australia. It's a 17-shot margin in favour of the ACT, but that is absolutely nothing in the scheme of things. We've ticked over a third of the way through across the 3 rinks, nearly halfway through this one, though. Motoring along.
So a few changes in WA this year, Val. So for the rest of the states, we're probably catching up with everyone else, or trying to. 20 years behind Victoria. So we'll be having we'll finally have got our open gender to Saturdays up to into the Premier League. So we'll have Christina Christic and a few of them that were a few of our extremely talented ladies that will be playing open gender, which we really look forward to.
Yep.
I'll be intrigued to see how many, because there's many of our ladies that are capable of playing in that to that level. So we'll see how it pans out. I mean, it's been a work in progress. It's been 4 years in the making where we've come up through where we've got it, and then finally we've arrived, and it'll still evolve a bit more, but it's just where we need to be. I know
Something different, isn't it? Seeing open gender.
Another dynamic. I mean, I played an open gender game, in a trial game for a Perth club the other day, and I just for me, it's just ho hum. I just see it as a game of bowls. I guess I don't see gender here. Gender, you just play the game, and I don't see any difference. Maybe, and I don't hear too much bad language on the green anyway. And
no, and I think mixed pairs is generally the way things are going as well. We see the demand for it, and if you look at the mixed pairs field for the Australian Championships this year, it's sensational. You've got Dawn Heyman and her fiancé Thomas Webb playing. You've got Kate Argent-Bowden and Nathan Black. I think Bill Brandsma's playing in the WA mixed pairs. Is he not? I'll double check it for you.
Double check that one, but yeah, naturally. And as you know, our calendar's really tight, and we don't play ours till later in the season. But the numbers that we're attracting into our state, well done,
Nicely done there from
Maggie.
And if you look, Bill Brandsma and Lisa Featherby, that's a pretty damn good team. Then you've got Barry and Colleen Orr from the NT. So and then Bolivia Miller, Kane Nelson, Ali Forsyth and Kelly McErahan, and then Amity Bickley and Cody Marshall. I think they're an item as well. They're a great young Tasmanian pairing. So that is an absolutely stacked mixed pairs list. And the ability to play mixed pairs, I think,
I love it.
Is another feather in the cap to the sport.
Absolutely it is. And Billy and Lisa, great mates, and extremely talented bowlers.
Lisa's an absolute star, isn't she?
Absolute star. And she's on the board with me, so she's a star at everything she does. She's just one of the real gems of bowls that you love to be involved with. She is so good. And, and of course I already speak highly of Billy, as we know, and great pairing. Billy's a mastermind when it comes to reading heads and shots to play.
That's why he coaches the BPL.
Absolutely it is. So Pam, we really need Pam to get on the board.
That's a nice delivery from Jenny Clout, I think it was. Sorry, no, that was Dianne Marquet.
Yes.
Been told by Nick Hind that I can call Jeanette Clout Jenny Clout.
Oh, rightio.
That's her nickname.
Rightio. Great man is our Nick. He does. I have listened to him on the live stream.
He's very good, and yeah, we're sad to be losing him at BA because he's taken on a job at Bowls New South Wales, and he won't be lost to the sport, which is fantastic because he is so good for it, and I will miss him dearly because he was when I had my very first event at BPL 12 in 2021. That was my very first event, a month and a half in. I spent a lot of time with Nick, and he's a great fella, and yeah, looking forward to seeing how his career develops.
Yeah, and when we catch up, and we're pretty tight unit when all the SDAs get together, and Nick's always a colourful character, and I always look forward to it, as I do the rest of the CEOs and presidents from around Australia. It's a good group, really productive group, passionate group. So, I've had caught up with a few of them. Brian Marshall from Queensland already, and I'll catch up. Dillis should probably in town now, and I think Pat Schramm flies in tomorrow morning. She'll be having Pennants today, so we'll all catch up. And I'm not sure if Tim Dodds is coming up from SA or Bernie from Tassie, but for us that are here, we'll have a good little catch up. Of course, I think they have a BA meeting on Thursday or Friday. Might be Friday.
Nick said, good time to tune in. Thanks to you and Doug for the kind words. He just sent me a text. Nah, Nick, we love you, mate. And we're so glad that you're not going to be lost to the sport because it's one of the best things about working at BA has been getting to know you. Was just waiting for Lois to jump out of the way there.
And
come on, Lois. To the right. Ooh, not sure what is... I think it's still 1 to WA, but the problem is now, I think what Kathy needs to do is get one behind, because if anything goes, or get one... It'll be a hard dead draw if you can get it around and in between the Jack and those two Western Australian... those two ACT bowls, but they're in deep conversation.
Kathy and Liz I think they're going to agree to draw. Kathy will be playing the bowl, but the call from both of them was to forehands through the gate, get to our bowl or behind it, because the shot that'll be coming from ACT, I suspect, will be arriving with a bit of weight on it.
Yep. Or even, sitting that Western Australian bowl closer to the Jack could be an option, but be very interesting. So, what's more important is that Pamela Chalmers has taken a 4, Doug.
Yes.
That is massive because the margin's back down to 12. They're holding one here. A 4 is a huge result. Kathy Gobbart looking to come through the gate. It is going to turn. What has she got? She's not far away at all. Is it going to keep turning? Just going to drift through. So nice little sider. She had the line perfect.
And it's still in the game. More importantly, so if they come through with weight, maybe the catcher, depends on the angle.
Got to be the right weight.
Absolutely.
And they do move quick on these greens, the Jacks. Bit of cloud cover, so the sun's not really baking the greens like they did at Broadbeach the other day. They were flying on green 4 at Broadbeach at the Para-Nationals. Very quick.
Righto. So that just amazes me how they drain. If we had 6 inches of 150 mil of rain, wow, so they'd be off for a week. We greenkeepers.
Lois is very close.
Well.
She's played it to perfection, I think. Oh no, she hasn't. She couldn't have done anything more. And now the shot could change here for Kathy Gobbart, or is she still doing the same thing?
So she can count and cover here. So if she can draw a shot behind, and that may stop because the ACT shot's going to be through.
That is stiff though, because now that bowl's gone, so it's a smaller target for the ACT to try and hit.
Absolutely.
Same hand for Kathy Gobbart. Jeez, that was unlucky and unfortunate. It was a brilliantly weighted shot from Lois Waters.
So similar bowl, less weight to the last one. So Maggie's keen.
Just running in here, Kathy. Has she got enough weight on it? It's trying, it's doing its utmost. And I think she just wanted maybe another foot to the right of screen there just to get in the way.
Yes. Although her initial shot was to be behind, I'm sure, but there's still a target there, and there's still potential to convert this head the other way. Oh, it looks tight or not?
No, that'll come.
That'll hold.
She's very close. Lois Waters. How's she done? She has done magnificently. That is perfection.
I have heard someone describe that as a JFK.
A JFK?
Yeah, no, she's just got shot. So I think I'll park up all those little ones about there, I think.
Oh, wow. Was that a 2 in the end, Robbie? That is absolutely brilliant. Doug Kelly, thank you very much for joining me. We're going to have, I think Paul Holschke's ready to jump back in. But, Doug, thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on Ringside Live.
Cheers, thank you. They're big shoes to fill of Paul's.
They are genuinely big shoes.
So I'll leave you with that last one, and I won't roll out any more, I promise.
Wow, we might get cancelled here, but thank you very much, Doug. Wow. So, was it a 2 in the end or just the 1? I think it was just the 1. So just the 1 figure. Brilliant bowl there from Lois Waters. And we'll have a look at a replay very soon. Paul Holschke's about to jump back in, and geez, I wasn't expecting that reference at all so early in the morning. Is it too soon? We'll find out. But Paul's back on deck.
How did Doug go?
He was fantastic.
No, he's a character. Did he tell
sure
you?
is.
Did he tell you he's made the national final in the BPL Cup?
No, he didn't actually. He didn't talk himself up. He was fantastic. It was great to have Doug Kelly, president of Bowls WA.
He's going to Pine Rivers in November.
Where else would you rather be?
I'm going to be able to see if he's any good on the greens. That's what I'm looking forward to. Anyway, so ACT have slipped out to a bit of a lead here, leading 32-19 after 26 ends. And we've got the close one, 8 all, Kathleen and Lois, after 10 ends. Hope everyone is enjoying the coverage. Thanks for watching in, wherever you may be. Good morning to Brucey Eagles. Fond memories. Time in Sorrento. We had a lovely time in Sorrento last year, so thank you very much for hosting us, Sorrento Bowling Club. Who else have we had say hello? Yes, Doug. It was good having Doug on board. What a legend of the sport in WA he is. He's one of the nice guys. So it's good that we have good people involved in our sport, helping it to continue on and helping it to grow. Right. So what we might do is go around the greens, have a quick look. I know Andrew's out updating the scores, so we thank Andrew for that, all his hard work. Hello Ray from Sunbury, thanks for watching on. Sunbury is just up the road from where I live. I'm from Melbourne. Philip Hobbs, good morning from Christchurch. Hope it's a lovely day over there in Christchurch. It's probably lunchtime over there. So what are you going to have for lunch, Philip? Let us know. Which club do you play at? Do you play at Burnside or do you play somewhere else? I've been to Christchurch once, not long after the earthquake, so got to see all the destruction. And I hope they've been able to rebuild well over there. Anyway, looks like ACT potentially holding, 3 or 4 there, Robbie? It's probably 3. Well, this could be another one. If it flops over, That could be 4 now, Doug. Robbie, sorry, not Doug. Doug has left us on. What do you think, Robbie? And good morning, Bob. Former president of Bowls Australia. Glad to hear that you're watching along. And
Yeah, good morning to you, Bob Borman.
it was his birthday the other day, I saw.
Was it? Happy birthday, Bob. 21 and thriving.
Hope it was a great day, Bob. Hope you got well spoilt, taken out for lunch or dinner. Some nice cake.
And got Philip Hobbs watching on, Ray Thorne watching from Sunbury. What a great club and great suburb,
Bob
Sunbury.
Yep.
I do love
Philip plays bowls at, how do you say,
Papanui.
Papanui.
Umpired the Burnside under 26, which did include an Australian contingent. There was Kate Matthews over there and Jack East from Western Australia. Kate and Jack did quite well. Kate got to the quarterfinals of the Division 1 singles and Jack made it through to Division 2.
You have a good memory, Val.
Kaz literally just told me 2 days ago.
Oh, right.
3 days ago.
All right. What's Liz doing?
Got Lynn watching from Norfolk, England. Very late night for you, Lynn. On a Monday night. So that Jack is sort of, it's like a vortex there. There's just like a magnetic field where none of the bowls can go too close, but we'll see what happens in the end. The master board has it at 11 shots. 2 rinks, very close.
It's hard to know who's holding here and how many shots.
Then
Robbie's he's gonna zoom in and find out for
we'll
us.
find out a little bit later. There's still 4 bowls to come, so I dare say it's going to change.
So it's definitely that orange bowl of ACT. That's 1. So what's Lois doing here? She's coming in on the forehand, looking to... Just went through a bit further than she may have liked. Don't think that's going to be in the count. How's Kathleen been doing, Val? Has she been while I was away?
She's been doing pretty well, but Lois Waters was the one that absolutely nailed the final bowl of the last end to take shot away.
JFK. Might have to use that.
Maybe not on...
Oh, look at this. That could be the
very close.
That could be the shot, Robbie. Well, it's good to see Pamela Chalmers picking up 4. She was 16 zip down.
Yeah, well, that could change. We've been waiting for the end of that 8th end for a long time. We're in the end of the 11th here, so we're over halfway through this contest, and we've only been going about an hour and a half, so it's very, very quick. These guys are motoring through. Paul, what I want to ask you after this end, I want you to go through some of the other results that are going to hold permutations. Yes. So the women, Northern Territory and Victoria, and then the men, South Australia and Tasmania.
All right, we'll wait for this end to complete, and then we'll run through it.
Kathy Gobbart, last bowl to put them back in front. They haven't been behind on this rink at all. They've led from the outset or been tied at the end of 2 ends. I want to get this back under a 10-shot gap if they can. On the master board, that is.
Oh, she's
in behind it.
She's chasing it. She likes it.
Haven't seen her chase at all. Kathy Gobbart, what have you got?
She's going to... Oh,
and that's good. That's 2, I reckon. High fives all round. What is the total? We're going to get some measures here. Could have been a 3, Paul.
No, I don't think it was a 3.
Not sure.
We need these ladies to
Yeah, no signal whatsoever there. I think we'll double check on the board when we can. I think that might have been a 2.
Yeah, I think it was a 2.
Seeing them update it now. Oh no, it was just a 1. There you go. Just the 1 to WA. 9-8 after 11. So the margin on the master board is 10 shots.
The jack out of bounds.
Second time they've done that. And the last time they did it was when they were
Irene.
Last time they did it was when they were up 4-0 and they lost the next end. Paul,
All right, let's go around the greens.
What have you got? Women, Victoria versus NT.
Well, Victoria, I said earlier they have one hand on the trophy. I think they have 2 hands on the trophy now. They lead 29-12.
Yes.
26 ends.
And now, Tasmania and South Australia's men. What is happening there? Because Tassie were in front. They were winless.
Right, well, the SA...
Yes.
Leading 29-24.
So all South Australia need to do. They were down 22-20. They've scored 9-2 the last few ends. So South Australia also have one hand on the trophy. And then what's happening between the Queensland and New South Wales men, Paul? Because if South Australia lose...
Very close. New South Wales leading 31-28. Up by 3 after 30 ends.
So New South Wales leading, you said?
Correct.
So if South Australia lose and New South Wales or Queensland win, the winner of that New South Wales-Queensland match will win. But that's only if South Australia lose to Tasmania.
Any other close games? I'm just looking through. So in the men's game here, ACT leading WA 21-17 with Graham Wishart's rink. They call him Rooster. I call him...
Why Rooster?
Oh, he likes to get up and about, I think. He's a big fellow. He's very boisterous. He's certainly a character on the greens.
So good start from the 2 leads here in Irene Leahy and Jill Cornish. Irene Leahy, she lays 1, I reckon.
No, that's Liz Matthews.
No, it is Irene.
Irene Leahy. Sorry, I do apologise.
They did change, remember?
We got it wrong at the start.
They did change.
They did change.
So
I do apologise.
So yeah, that's where things lie at the moment. South Australia in front against Tasmania. It works out really well for both South Australia and Victoria. The fact that the Victorian women play the NT, haven't won. South Australia play Tasmania, who haven't won. And you know, you've got to beat who's in front of you though. And that's what Victoria are doing. South Australia locked into a bit more of a battle, looking for their first overall trophy here at the Senior Sides Championships. Only Victoria, New South Wales and Queensland have taken home an award here since 2018. Victoria looking to become the first to nail a three-peat.
Well, it looks that way, but stranger things have happened.
They have.
Looks like Rooster is now 8 all. He's 8 all after...
So it's a 10-shot lead on the master board for the ACT. Pamela Chalmers from 16-0 down. It's 16-6 now. And Catherine Hunt, Linda Warburton, they keep going up by 2s. Catherine Hunt in front. 10-9 after 10. This one we've gone 11 ends. And it's been a really good contest. It was 7-1 in favour of Western Australia and Kathy Gobbart's squad. But Lois Waters and co. and her quartet brought things into perfection. Brilliant from Dianne Marquet. We might have to get Lois to stop just standing on the centre line there. Sorry, that was Maggie Newton. Yeah, Lois.
All right, Dianne Marquet.
Just standing on the centre line when bowls are coming down. So we need to let her know, probably not. And
well, she's putting her hands in the air. Not happy. Sure
Robbie's gone down just to tell her just not to stand on the centre line.
Wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of Robbie, would she? Does a great job at his.
He does.
Okay.
Yeah, Robbie's gone to just let her know, just not to stand on the centre line when bowls are coming down. So thank you to
all the players
Yep.
for helping us with that. Otherwise, it makes it difficult to bring the coverage to you.
Thank
for
you,
to
Lois.
enjoy.
And thank you to all the players for their understanding. I know it is difficult because when you're in the game, you're really in the game.
Well, it's unfortunate here in Christchurch. It's not a nice day, according to Roger Webb. Sorry to hear that. Hopefully it blows through and the sun was able to pop out later this afternoon for you
It is
guys.
on my bucket list, Christchurch.
It's a lovely spot.
My fiance was just there for work a few weeks ago and she said it was stunning.
Okay. So Liz Matthews with those wide bowls. Looking to come in and take the shot away from ACT. Do a little trail. Could pick up 3. Is it going to swoop around Val? Is it? It's coming. Oh, what a great bowl.
That is magnificent. Absolutely magnificent.
Perfection. Made 3. And it's hard to get to as well. Calling Jeanette to come down on her backhand.
What has Jenny Clout got?
To arrive on that front orange bowl, which is the ACT bowl. And push it in.
She's not far away, but she's going to cut under.
She might hit that purple ACT bowl. No.
Just wiggles its way up. Not,
Oh.
flopping things over, but Liz Matthews was magnificent. She's just going to come down and have a quick look here. They all are as the skips
Crossover.
make their way down. They're all going to have a look with Kathy. So 9-8 in favour of WA on this rink. The other rink between Linda Warburton and Catherine Hunt, extremely close. Pamela Chalmers fighting back was 16-0, now 16-6. So 10 shots, very easy to rectify, especially when a maximum on one is 8. There was a big 8 earlier on in that Mandy Stitt Pamela Chalmers rink. Doesn't happen very often, but we have seen it once, Paul.
Right, WA holding 3. They're in a very strong position here. On this, the 12th end. And Kathleen looking to add a 4th on her forehand. It's going to come in, but I'm not sure it's going to come in from that far out. Her weight speed was fantastic. Still 3 to WA. So we got Lois Waters from the Canberra Bowling Club. Apparently a previous runner-up in the Australian Open. I'm not sure how many years ago that was. All right, coming in on the backhand. Obviously looking to arrive on that orange bowl. Oh. And 14. I know.
So probably still 3 to WA here. This is a bit concerning.
It's a big bowl here by Lois.
This is massive.
I think she needs to swap hands. Or she come through with a little bit of weight, land on that blue WA bowl, and potentially even squirt the jack out of bounds. And she was trying to do that, but unfortunately didn't get the result. So it'll be 3 to...
So that is... We're going to get a measure here, I think, just to double check. 2.
So.
Is it 2 or is it 3? 3 it is.
3, yep.
So now that's a massive pickup in the scheme of things, Paul, because it's 12-8 now, and the margin on the masterboard back down to 7. WA fighting back hard. So this is heating up nicely. Paul, what's happening around the greens here with the Victorian and NT women? Have we had an update there? And the...
No.
And the South Australia Tasmania men?
It's still a convincing lead to the Victorian women over NT.
Irene Leahy. She is leading beautifully. So, Western Australia making a charge. It's 7 on the masterboard. Just waiting on that Pamela Chalmers, Mandy Stitrink to come through. See what happens there, because we're waiting for an update. Haven't had one in a while.
So 1 to WA. Thanks to Irene.
So,
2 good bowls there by Irene. Just piling the pressure on, WA. How can ACT respond? It's great to hear the crowd getting involved in this game. All the WA supporters up here on the balcony. Oh, what a super bowl by Jill. Those orange bowls with a yellow flick. Don't mind them, Val, as a colour. They certainly stand out on the green. All right, Maggie also coming down on the backhand. Looking to disrupt the head. Either grab the jack or sit on the Jill bowl. Unfortunately, quite get enough of it. Just flopped it over. So still 1 to ACT. Okay. Lois is asking Di to just come under those 2 WA bowls and just rest there on the jack and make 2. Why not? It's not a bad home. The jack could squeeze out there. Okay, Maggie Newton has 1 in, 1 out. No change. Still got second shot. What can Di do here? Can she draw a second? On her forehand. It seems to want to come. Has it got the speed? It's trying. Oh, good effort.
So
Probably about a metre and a bit short.
Pam Chalmers and Mandy Stitt. Well, WA's in front, Paul. They've netted a 5 here. Pam Chalmers. And the other one, Linda Warburton, the other rink, netted a 4. So
Wow.
WA have stormed from 14 back, 28 to 14. They lead at 36-34 on the masterboard here as we round the halfway point.
That must have been what all the rapturous applause were about a couple of minutes ago. Wow, because Pamela Chalmers was 16 to zip, now 11 to 16. It's a great fight back by Pamela and her team. Jeanette Clout with her yellow and green, classified as Aussie bowls, wouldn't they? Yellow and green.
Yeah, probably. Green and gold.
Correct. So still one to ACT. And Kathleen encouraging Liz. Come on, you can do this. On your backhand. Can draw this shot bowl off. She's not far away here. Not just going to squeeze past only by a fraction. Another one in the head that Lois said, please. We need one more in there. Jeanette Clout representing the Tuggeron Vikings. The line wasn't too bad, just the speed. As we know, it's all about the right line and the right speed.
It is.
And if you can do both, what would you call that, Val?
Nail it. Right line and right speed. What would you call it?
When I was coaching the juniors, I'd call it just right.
The Goldilocks bowl.
Just right. The cereal, just right. If you have that for breakfast in the morning.
The Kellogg's.
Yes, big shout out to Kellogg's. If you want to sponsor our sport, please let us know.
Special K.
See, or a bit of Nutri-Grain.
Yep. Every time I hear Special K, I think of the Family Guy joke, whatever happened to regular K.
All right.
This one's coming back
What's
for
Kathleen doing?
Kathy.
Just went through a bit further than she would have liked. But she still has one more to go. All right. Lois. She needs to put another one in there. Because if that shot bowl can be removed, WA will be holding the couple. So it's imperative that she gets a second one in there. I think her width and her speed. She's looking for the Bacchus bowl. She certainly has the Bacchus bowl now. Not sure that's going to come into play though. Especially when Kathleen is looking to just draw in on her backhand. Just come and rest on that ACT bowl. Put down by Jill Cornish. He's leading superbly well. Kathleen's chasing this, so...
When she's chasing, we know she's close. Kathy Gobbart.
She's got the jack.
To the ACT bowl, but did she keep moving with it? Oh no, she had a back bowl. Even better. That is magnificent.
Racking bowl.
Kathy Gobbart. She's playing bomb after bomb. Has she made two? Quite possibly.
Very
Look,
close.
I'd probably say just the one at the moment, but you never know. That one is sticking out a little bit further up the green than the yellow bolt. So big effort required here for Lois Waters.
What can she do? Can she deliver?
Doesn't want to promote that up.
No.
She's got too much weight on it. So whether this is a 1 or a 2, let's double check. It is a 2. Kathy Gobbart, they've gone 1,
WA.
3 and 2, and they extend the buffer to 4 on the masterboard and 6 on this rink. They were down by 15 at one stage and also 28-14. They had doubled the score, the ACT. This has been a brilliant fight back from Western Australia. Largely thanks to some bombs from Kathy Gobbart.
She has been bowling brilliantly. And now we know why she's played over 150 state games for WA.
That is a hell of a lot, especially considering they don't play as often as what Victoria, New South
Correct.
Wales and
WA Hall of
Queensland do.
Famer. Won apparently more than 100 singles titles around her career, over her career. So she obviously knows how to bowl. Maybe we could get a lesson from her later this afternoon.
maybe a bit of time on the rink, Paul.
She's a coach as well, so I've heard. Maybe I might see if I can get some advice, get some help. Well, Jill, it's great. Line again. Just pulling up a metre and a half short. What can Irene do? She's got the wide line again. It's just hanging out there. Just one to WA. But Jill, who's been bowling very well, leading off for the ACT team, is coming in on her backhand. If it slows down, she'll definitely have the shot. Oh, it's just raced
Still room.
Raced on through by about another metre and a half. So it'll be definitely one to WA, but as we know, there's plenty of bowls to come. What can Maggie Newton from Kalgoorlie? Well, she can promote her. She can promote Irene's bowl to the absolute. So Marquet, the president of Bowls ACT, coming down on her forehand, looking to rest on that WA bowl. But that's not a bad home though. As we saw on the last end, having back bowls certainly makes a difference. The jack goes back. It's not very often you see the jack go forward, but it does happen
No, well,
from time
Chris
to time.
Flavel the other day. Were you in commentary with me for that final match?
No.
No, it was Lucas. Chris Flavel drove one, came off a Damien Delgado bowl and went about 6 metres up the rink. Almost out of bounds, but too far forward.
Wow.
It was insane.
Did he pick up or drop a number? Can't remember. Okay, Marquet. Just racing on through. It's tough being consistent, especially when the wind's coming in from the northeast. It's definitely picked up. The flags are right. Let's
Going past, so bit of a sparse end here.
so big bowl here required by Jeanette Clout. The line's good. The line's very good. How's the speed? Oh,
Close, just missing past.
Need to take off. A little bit of pace, as we used to see on television. Wipe off 5, just slow down a little bit. Don't see those ads anymore, do we? Wipe
Yeah,
off
no,
5?
there's a few. Just don't watch as much free-to-air TV anymore.
Oh.
It's not much good on at the moment.
You don't watch The Block?
No.
Oh,
I don't,
riveting viewing The Block.
Not a big reality show fan. It's too dramatised. They always paint someone out to be the villain when they're not that bad, and yeah, it's all for numbers. This one though, this is close.
This is a crack.
Nicely bowled there
by
from
Jeanette.
Jenny Clout. That is sensational.
You blocker on Phillip Island, which is just down the road from where I grew up, in sunny South Gippsland. Used to go to Phillip Island many a time. Go and see the little penguins.
Yeah. There's also a big penguin at Melbourne Aquarium at the moment that the lines are around the corner for. I'm not sure.
I've heard that.
It's a monstrosity of a penguin.
It is.
But don't know why so many people want to see this thing.
Something unique, unusual, intriguing, obviously adorable.
Yeah. It's a very cute penguin.
All right, what can Kathleen do? She's coming under. So ACT holding 1 thanks to a massive bowl by Jeanette Clout. That was a cracker.
So how will the skips respond?
So we're past the halfway mark. Western Australia 39, ACT 34.
Unbelievable comeback.
It has.
25 shots to 6 from 28-14 down.
It's just hanging out there for Lois.
Been going 2 hours here. This one is heating up nicely.
Well,
So
in the past, Kathleen has done some incredible conversions. Well, on the last end. And I think the end previous.
let's see what Kathy Gobbart has got. This is her last bowl. She's down 1.
Can she convert again? Don't think on this occasion. She's just a little bit speedy.
Too far.
She would have got a speeding ticket from the police. So if they had their radar out on the green for that one. All right. Can Lois add a second? Don't think so. Had perfect speed. Absolutely perfect.
So 1 to the ACT, Paul, and we just had a question come through. It's 14-9 here on this rink. 14 ends played, 7 to go. Now, the question is, what's the situation if the Tasmanian men manage to beat South Australia? So the situation is South Australia won't win the competition due to the fact that New South Wales or Queensland are playing each other. So one of those two teams will win. So South Australia have to win to maintain their lead in the competition. So they're in front at the moment, but if they lose, whoever wins out of New South Wales and Queensland, also if it is a draw, then I'm not sure where things go. It all comes down to rink points because South Australia have that draw against Victoria. So what's the score happen?
So currently,
Tasmania in
after
front.
43 ends, Tasmania on 37 and SA on 35.
And what's happening with... So how many rinks have Tasmania got? So
Tasmania have got
it's one rink.
one rink and a draw.
So that gets South Australia to 15 rink points. Oh, that is going to come right down to the wire. Having said that, though, if New South Wales and Queensland, if one of them wins, they jump South Australia as it stands. So at the moment, it's New South Wales that could win the title. As it stands, they are in first place.
So currently New South Wales leading Queensland by 10, 44-34 after 36 ends.
Wow, Tasmania haven't won at all. They are 0-6. South Australia, 5 wins, no losses, and a draw. My word. Can they finish it? They were in front. What about Victoria's women, Paul? What's happening there?
Well, last time we looked, they were miles in front. And they are currently leading 42-19. So all ranks up. So I think Victoria will be well and truly on their way to a three-peat.
Yes, the first state ever to do it at the senior sites. So plenty to go under the bridge. At the moment, 39-35 in favour of Western Australia. We've got 7 ends to play here. We've got 27 to play overall. Getting through this one in lightning fast fashion.
Okay, so once again, Jill Cornish has holding for ACT. She's having a great game, which is great to see. She's played in great spirits this game. That's going to be a little bit wide by Maggie. All right, Jeanette Clout with her green and gold bowls. Very distinctive. Looking to add a second shot. With Western Australia leading by 4 overall. Every shot counts. Looks like she has. I would say that is second shot. Would you agree, Robbie? Got him working hard, Robbie, on the switches. Doing a great job, bringing the telecast to 1 and all. Okay. What has Liz done? Well, if the jack was to be moved backwards, that would be a good place to have it. It's a good position. And now, can Jeanette add a third to the count? It's not far away. It's a very nice delivery. Wow. Perfect. Looks like 3. Thank you, Robbie, for that great camera angle. So, Kathleen is trying to find a way to minimise the damage, asking Liz to come down on the forehand. It's a good line here. If it travels. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Bowl.
Still 1 down.
Oh.
But that is...
Hard to tell.
Or
from
maybe
there,
not,
Val.
actually.
It's very hard to...
Maybe not.
You don't be too quick on the call, Val. You just...
No, she might have got there. She might have got there. That is a sensational bowl either way because she's cut it down from 3 anyway. So it's either 1 down or 1 up.
Correct.
Brilliantly done from... That is just sensational from Liz Matthews. Those white bowls, if it's not Kathy Gobbart doing it, it's been Liz Matthews for W8.
Obviously, the change of order at the start of play has been working. Big discussions here between the ACT ladies. So, what is Lois going to choose to do here? She's still deciding. She's going to stick to the forehand. To come and rest on that yellow bowl and push it through. Oh, she
very
just
close.
Missed. Wow, she had the right idea and certainly the right intentions. All that wing bowl needed was a flip over and it would definitely be the shot. Okay, Kathleen looks like coming down on the backhand. Should be looking to just rest on her one white bowl. Oh, she's looking for a placement bowl. Looks like it
might be a placement, but it is coming back. We know that they come on that side. Just needs to keep moving.
That's a very good
great
home. Oh, might have even dropped in for a shot.
Don't think so. No, I think that.
It's close.
It is close.
Okay, she just needs some movement of the Jenny Clout bowl. If she comes around that, that's why short bowls.
Now, does Kathy try and sit this red bowl away? There's enough of an angle there for her to get to it. If she sits it away, they can make 3 pull.
No, taking the shot. Taking the 1. So it extends the lead. 15-9. After 15 ends. Certainly making a massive impact on the overall score on this ring. The Kathleen Gobbart rink. Gobbart. So 15-9 after 15 ends. Closing in the final stages of this morning's match. The last round. Round 7. The 2024 Australian Senior Sides Championships, where we have lots of different combinations and permutations as to who will take out the awards. It all comes down to today's play. So we thank you for watching in and enjoying.
And Paul, what is the score in the South Australian men's match between them and Tasmania?
Well, we haven't received an update since last time, so Tassie's still leading. We'll have to get Andrew onto the job. Get him out there. Get amongst. Okay. So Jill, who's been leading wonderfully, has changed her hand. Coming down on the forehand. Wow. This is a great start. She has been bowling tremendously,
Yeah,
Val.
I think all 8 really. I've enjoyed watching all of them. There's been no passengers at all. 15-9, and good day to Clive Adams, who's watching on. He'll be here tomorrow. He's waiting for his flight, or he's on his flight.
Oh, he's about to board, I'd say.
Trying to watch on the flight. He's on the plane now.
Oh, wow.
So, internet's a bit shaky apparently, but good morning to you, Clive. Looking forward to seeing you over the next couple of days. And WA, they are motoring through at the moment. 17-13 in favour of Mandy Stitt over Pam Chalmers. They've taken a shot there. It's after 12. I think it's gone 1-1. And then Linda Warburton and Catherine Hunt. 15-10. So WA now from being 14 down, it was 14-28. It's now, since then, 29-8. They have stormed back. As Paul Holschke, he's on the lollies. What have you got in there, Paul? Some snakes. I might pinch 2 of those and a pineapple. So another precarious end for the ACT. Of course, we are keeping a close eye on the women's match between Victoria and the Northern Territory. Victoria have both hands on the trophy at the moment. It'll take a stunning comeback from the NT to deny the Vics a 3rd successive Betty Collins trophy. The men's, the John Dobby trophy. Well, New South Wales currently, they have their hands on it with South Australia behind by 3 shots against Tasmania, who haven't won yet. This could be a heartbreaking day for the Redbacks. Of course, plenty of time to change that. That's wiggling in. So 39-36 in favour of Tasmania's men. 45 ends played, 18 to go. My word, if South Australia drop that. Now, Liz Matthews went from lead to 3rd. And have a look at this. It's trundling in. She got the legs. Very close. So we wait with bated breath to see what's happening with this Tasmania-South Australian tie, because there's a hell of a lot riding on it.
It's funny how the bottom team can beat the top team.
Yep.
It happens all the time.
This is a decent track here for Jeanette Clout. Jenny Clout couldn't quite get in, so it comes down to Kathy and Lois. Great to have everybody's company wherever you're watching around the world and around Australia. Western Australia, if you've just joined us, we're down 14-28. They now lead it 43-36 on the master board. largely thanks to this rink, and also a huge comeback from Pam Chalmers against Mandy Stitt. They were down 16-0. Currently leading in 2 of the 3 rinks. Still waiting on an update from Tasmania and South Australia.
Pretty much as updated as can be. Yeah, literally just came from there, yeah. Yeah, so I'll go back in a second.
No, that's fine.
So finish the man.
This one just waiting, Kathy, to try and get around. Couldn't do so. So let's see what happens here. Penultimate bowl for the ACT this end, and the first for Lois Waters. This is where the Australian Sides Championships and Senior Sides Championships are so wonderful and pulsating, because there's just permutations and ramifications. It's not just one rink. It's a collective team effort, 12 aside. Pennant format. And it's going to come right down to the wire. She's wide. It's not a bad home, though. Waiting to see what happens in that South Australia-Tasmania contest for the men. Tassie win that. South Australia can't win. Well, they can, but a lot would have to go their way.
Well, I can report over on the men's, WA versus ACT, it's very close.
Ooh, very. What's the score?
WA leading 36-34 after 45 ends.
Kathy Gobbart. Oh, yeah. That ensures...
That's one way of doing it.
Yep, that ensures it. Look, she just hops out the way. A little bit more to the right, Kathy. We should hopefully get a good view of this coming down. This is the hand that we think she's going to play here, Lois Waters. What can she do? It is going to turn, but she sent it out a little bit too wide, has she? It's coming. She get connection?
Just a speed bell.
So what is the score going to be? 1, 2, this will be 3, I think. We're getting an umpire out? No. I think that was a 3. We'll give it 3 for now. All of a sudden...
She did indicate, but our...
Scoreboard was just in the way there, but we'll call it an 18-9 buffer. This is unbelievable. From 8 all, they have won 6 of the last 7 ends. They've got a 1, 3, 2, 1 and 3. The only score for the ACT in that time has been a single. We've got 6 ends to play.
So pretty much since Doug moved away from the commentary booth, WA
have gone bananas.
Absolutely.
And on the masterboard, it's a 10-shot lead to Western Australia after being 28-14 down. This has been some sort of a comeback. So impressive. And the lead bowls from Irene Leahy have been very, very handy. So... looking forward to seeing how this match transpires and how the morning transpires, because Tasmania and South Australia are locked in a tight encounter for the men's title, because New South Wales and Queensland, they're fighting it out. Whoever wins that is putting an abundance of pressure on SA. The only thing that might save South Australia is if that's a drawn rink and they go, New South Wales and Queensland go 1 win, 1 loss and a draw. Or if it's a drawn tie. So that's the only way South Australia can win this title if they lose it against Tasmania. At the moment, still 39-36 in favour of Tasmania. Well, hang on, has that changed? 42-39 in favour of Tasmania.
Correct.
So they still lead by 3.
3-point buffer, 3-shot buffer.
That's after 47 ends, 16 ends to go for South Australia to find something.
Another great bowl by Jill Cornish.
And now the South
superbly.
She has. Now, Paul, the South Australians are going to start thinking about it. And that is a concern for them.
Yes.
What a time.
It's amazing what pressure can do.
Nigel Pedley, well, I think that's his wife again, watching on, because he's supposed to be playing and skipping.
Well, Nigel's leading 16 to 14.
Yep.
After 16 ends.
Then in the comments, no, I think that's his wife again. Good morning to you. Glad you're watching on, and
do not put the moz on us, Val.
I'm trying not to. Trying not to. 11 a.m. local time here. It's a 12-shot lead to Western Australia. They are forging ahead. They've got a 9-shot lead on this rink, an 8-shot lead on the Linda Warburton Catherine Hunt rink. They're down by 5 in the middle rink. Mandy Stitt and Pam Chalmers.
Well, ACT holding a couple here. What can Maggie do? I'd say that's cut it down. Dianne Marquet, President of Bowls Tassie, looking to add a second shot to the count.
Bowls ACT, you mean?
What did I say?
Bowls Tassie.
I do apologise.
It's all right. You're allowed one.
Oh, I've made more than one.
Tasmania lead by 5 in the men's, 44 to 39 after 48 ends.
My goodness.
Oh, this could be. So they lead in 2 of the 3 rinks.
This could be a heartbreaker, mate.
Oh. I feel sick for them. But you've got to beat who's in front of you.
Wow.
And wow. South Australia.
It's amazing what pressure does, Val.
They need to gain 6 shots. They've got to win. It doesn't matter how much they win by. If they win, they're home. Tassie haven't won yet. They're sitting on the bottom of the table. South Australia on top. This would be the upset of all upsets at this year's Senior Sides Championships.
In the New South Wales Queensland men's game, New South Wales 50 leading Queensland 43.
New South Wales, as it stands, are winning the John Dobby Trophy.
I think if New South Wales can get up here,
the overall will...
They'll probably win the overall as well. The New South Wales ladies team is 50 to 33.
Well, they've got the best rink as well. And that rink is winning again, I believe. No, they're not actually. That's the
down,
no, they're one down. Robert Warren, Scott Franklin, one ahead.
Or as we found out yesterday, Big Joe. He commentated that game.
Yeah, it was a bit under the weather yesterday, so I didn't see much of it. From what I did see, UNLs did a great job, Paul. Thank you for jumping in for me.
We tried our best anyway. The viewers enjoyed it.
No, I'm glad.
That's what it's all about. Trying to bring some light to the coverage. And
so I've got 4 ends to play after this. Looking like Western Australia are going to forge ahead. South Australia trail in the men's by 6. What's happening with Victoria and the NT, Paul?
Maybe, Robbie, we can put the live scoring link on the bottom of the screen, please, just to let everyone know that.
Yep. Try and bring you all of the updates as they come through.
Looks like Tassie picked up another couple of shots. They now lead 45 to 39.
What about Victoria and the NT, Paul?
And the women?
Yep.
I think that's a foregone conclusion.
Seems that way, but you never know.
42 to 19.
So the Victorian women...
That needs a little update.
Look as though they're home and hosed. Here's Kathy Gobbart. Is she in? Can she clear that front? She can't. Still
We might have to send Andrew out to green 4.
It's all right. We'll get the update. That one looks as though it's... there is just a little update there.
He's working on it right now.
44 to 21. So, Victoria, they look home and host.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
Northern Territory, unfortunately, look as though they're going to go winless. Tasmania, however, might not be winless in the men's because they're currently up by 6 against the ladder leading South Australia, and that would mean that New South Wales would swoop to the title.
Just imagine if they do.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
You've got to beat who's in front of you.
That's great a nice bowl by Lois. It's at least 2. Do you reckon there's any more than 2, Robbie? Well, we've got the final update here in the Victorian versus Northern Territory game. Victorian ladies lead 63 to 23 after 48. In the men, it's Victoria leading 47 to 39. And in the Queensland-New South Wales men's game, it's obviously Queensland picked up a couple of shots. They are now trailing by 5, 52 to 47. In the women's game, New South Wales ladies 50 to 33. So look at the big game that we're all watching. The Tasmanian team leading 45 to 39 in the men's, leading by 6 with just 14 ends to be played. So still a long way to go. Looks like Lois is not going to add another one to the count. So they're taking out 2. Having a look. Looks like they're going to get down on their hands and knees.
So what a pulsating morning we have. Victoria look as though they're home in the Betty Collins Trophy. The John Dobby Trophy looking as though it might be going to New South Wales if it stays this way. And the Glen Basisto overall, New South Wales, well, they could be the ones. What is the total there?
Looks like just 2.
2. So the ACT back on the board, 18 to 11, 4 ends to go. $45.39 still. For the Tasmanian men, they lead. What a morning of bowls.
I'd call it a very dramatic morning.
It has been. How many lollies have you consumed?
I don't know.
over the last 25 minutes?
Couple.
Ah.
Robbie said he's going to bring a big container for us of
Big
lollies.
container. We might need them. We've got a big few days ahead in the Australian Sides Championships. I need to be good because I've not been feeling well. I've got to consume the fruit.
You've got.
Well, yeah, I need to also worry about the waistline
nice
as well.
Suit to fit into.
I do.
Oh, Jill, she's bowled tremendously well today.
No taking things to get pressed this week for me while I'm away. So.
Are you nervous, Val?
Nah, not at all.
Not at all.
I'm not nervous about I'm nervous about things running smoothly.
Right.
Because that's obviously what you want. But everyone's saying, you're nervous about the day. It's like, best decision I've ever made, getting married to her. But it's more just I want like relinquishing control to other people to handle all the aspects of the day, where I get no say and it's like whatever happens, it's out of my control, which I do struggle a little bit with and I need to get better with. But
Well, they're only going to do whatever they do with the best intentions to make your day the best day
And we've
possible.
booked everything in. We've done it all, so we just need to make sure that...
Meanwhile, Jill has picked up the jack. Holding one. She's bowled brilliantly today.
So 18-11 is the score.
Getting the votes today.
Well, there's been a few of them that could. Kathy Gobbart, though, she has been enormous. Just heard one of Lisa Featherby say, "Come on, Irene," like the song "Come on, Eileen." Maybe we can change the lyrics.
Come on, Irene. No, come on, Irene. I will stop there.
We've heard a few karaoke jams from you this week, Paul Holschke, at the Paranationals, and now here at Club Tweed.
Anyway, what can Marquet do? She's coming down the backhand. Is she going to get... She's going to come under that bowl. Oh, just the speed. They just need a bit more grass.
So if you've just joined us this morning, Western Australia were down 28-14. They've forged back. Since then, they've scored 39 to 11. Lead it by 14 on the master board overall. Victoria look as though they are going to win the Betty Collins Trophy for a third successive year. Following that,
South Sheldon delivered that one, Val.
63-23 is the score now, so they are home and hosed. You would think that's after 48 ends. South Australia and Tasmania, 45-40 is the score in favour of Tasmania. South Australia have taken a shot back. That's after 50 ends. If South Australia lose that tie, they lose the overall because Queensland and New South Wales are playing each other. One of them will most likely win. Looks as though it's going to be New South Wales.
What about if it's a draw, Val? Will that make any impact?
It will, but if it's a draw, it comes down to rink points, which means that South Australia will need to win probably 2 rinks. So they'd be hoping that if they lose, Queensland can get it back to level pegging. They're down by 7 at the moment. And you can, Robbie Allen next to us is saying, never underestimate the Queenslanders. They have got a very handy side. So that's what's happening around Club Tweed this morning. That's if you've just joined us. So we're keeping an eye on everything.
Wouldn't have any bias, would he? Being a Queenslander.
No, he's a New Zealander.
He's a Kiwi, but he's a Queenslander.
He's a Kiwi-lander.
Great bowl by Jeanette Clout. She's bowled well as well. Even though they're down on the scoreboard, they've bowled very well.
It's just been some sensational deliveries from
Kathleen.
WA. So now time for Liz to
Matthews
pop her white bowls down, and they've been doing some damage as well. This is really well pointed, Paul. Has she got the weight?
Good. I think she's done it.
That is magnificent.
Cracking bowl by Liz Matthews.
Falls over too. What a morning we have. I'm nervous, Paul. This is great action. It's pulsating. Just going to cut under. Might promote that bowl up. Might get in the way of the hand here. Probably has. Might have affected that backhand, so they're going to have to come around the top. That's where Kathy puts her foot, saying just come around that, dead draw it, maybe jack high or just past. They swoop on that side, we know. This is the final round of senior sides action this morning. She's cut under here as Liz Matthews.
Now, there was a fast bowler from Western Australia called Chris Matthews. I wonder, any relation?
I think Matthews is a pretty common final name or common last name.
Could be right. But a fast bowler, he's obviously a good bowler.
That is true. Got a few of those here in Australia. Cricket season coming. Unfortunately, Cam Green from Western Australia, he's not going to take part in the Test summer. That's a big shame. Love watching him go about his business.
So, Lois will look to come on the forehand. She can either make contact with her red bowl, push the WA shot bowl out. They could have 2, maybe 3.
All right, so
What can she do?
in terms of the overall, they need something
A
here.
little bit wide there.
Oh, needs to be careful she doesn't hit her teammate. Not quite Ryan Bester driving into Joe Edwards' calf. Still, don't think it would tickle either way, depending on how padded those shoes are. So Kathy Gobbart pretty much wants to put one where she told Liz Matthews to put hers. They've just dropped a 2. They were up 18-9. No update yet for Tasmania, South Australia. Still 40-45 in favour of the Apple Isle in the men's. Victoria look like they've got the Betty Collins trophy stitched up. This isn't going to get there. Or is it?
Well, this might do the job for.
Oh,
I think it has.
that might
So
have helped
one-
the ACT. Needed to be careful
One to
there.
ACT.
Kathy Gobbart. Oh, it's close.
one
No,
down.
one down. Still, yeah. The Jack High Bowl.
So she just needs to come and arrive on that red bowl. This needs to be in the vicinity, Val. She can't be hanging out too far out to the right. The previous bowl, she needs to look for that. This is a better line. This could be a chance.
It is a good line.
If it comes under that blue bowl, we got a chance here, Val.
Nah, it's going to miss, I think.
Bad luck.
Kathy Gobbart needs to get one behind here. Well, they've
Needs a
got
little
one.
bit more weight, Val.
They've got one. She just needs to miss this on a high line. She doesn't want to obstruct
Just
this
take
head.
the one.
Is that what she's doing?
Yep.
We're not sure yet. They haven't picked up the jack. No. She can't give it to her teammate to bolt. No, she's taking the one and running. So 19 to 11.
Val, come on.
Pardon?
You doubted me.
Sorry, Paul.
Oh, that's
I apologise.
2 push-ups for you.
No, it's not. Haven't done any exercise in about a week and a half since I've been up here, so I really need to...
You missed out on our conversation yesterday, and I skip, and there, when we do 2 bowls the same.
No, you told me this the other day. The same.
2 push-ups.
Yep. I know the story. We discussed it at length at Para Nationals. So 45 to 40, still no updates. We're waiting with bated breath for Tasmania, South Australia's men's updates. For those watching on, waiting for those here. It looks as though WA are home, possibly. There's still 16 ends to play. Only 3 here. What a morning of action here at Club Tweed. Everyone's enjoying it.
Yeah, good start by Irene. Irene Leahy. Well, Jill Cornish, who's been leading brilliantly. What can she do? I think all those viewers who are watching on. Oh, look at this.
Paul, you'll be a happy man
Why am I going to be happy?
because
Here we go.
Carlton have secured pick 3 in the draft.
Oh, well, finally we had to do something. I wonder who we're targeting, which player.
Could be Laylaw, Sam Laylaw, cousin of Matt Walsh. Oh, sorry, Sam Walsh.
No, wasn't it
Or O'Sullivan, one of the two.
Sullivan, I think.
One of the two.
The midfielder, I dare say. We'll be targeting someone to come and help Cripper. He needs all the help he can get. Need a bit of speed through the midfield. We also need a defender and a small forward, so we don't need
You've just
much.
gotten rid of a small forward.
Well,
That would, yeah.
he's a hell of a nice bloke.
I like Matthew Owies, and yeah.
Didn't have the speed or the... He didn't have...
No, but he wanted to stay. He was very loyal. West Coast, that's a good pickup for them. They've got Liam Baker and Matt Owies now. Oh, it's 6 the difference now in favour of Tasmania. 48 to 42, 10 ends to go. They've extended the buffer. South Australia would be sweating.
Forehand draw. Di has been asked to do. Just draw it in. It's funny, that was reported about 4 or 5 days ago that we were going to get pick 3, and it's come to fruition.
Yeah, it all just comes to those little sweeteners that you have to add in.
Mm-hmm.
Richmond lose a dual premiership player in Liam Baker. They're all just leaving now, which is...
I'm surprised Western Australia did it. You'd think they'd be looking for some quality draft picks, but I dare say they got some more picks coming their way.
They do, but...
Any more Richmond players heading towards WA?
Shea Bolton looks as though he's gone. Hopefully we get pick 10 and 11 from Freo. As that one just skids in.
Oh, that's a way of
Maybe
doing
number
it.
1.
Is how you do it, Maggie.
So, 14 ends to play here. We've only got 3 ends to go here. Well, 2.5 really. This has been an exemplary performance.
What can Di do? This is tracking really well, Val.
Dianne Marquet. Oh, yeah. No.
Just
I went the
through
early crow.
Gap.
Looked the goods.
Did look the goods. Okay. So Jeanette Clout. She's been bowling well with those white bowls. How's her line? It's a bit on the high side. Her weight's pretty good. Very good weight. She'll be little bit disappointed with that. But she's still got 1 bowl to redeem herself. Okay, Jeanette Clout with the green and gold bowls. Oh, pushing. Bit of knock-knock. Knocked her teammate's bowl, Jill Cornish, up for shot. It's one way of doing it. A bit of knock-knock.
Who's there?
Jill Cornish.
Jill Cornish who?
I've got the shot now. That's not a very good joke. We'll have to work on that.
Well, we're not here for our comedic skills, that's for sure. This is not far away here from Lee's.
This is a...
Oh, how has it worked out? I think it's worked out pretty well.
Brilliantly.
I reckon that's a 2. She spliced the jack away to perfection.
Couldn't have done it any better.
This is a pulsating morning. Victoria look like they've got the Betty Collins trophy. Tasmania are currently holding South Australia at bay in the Glyn Bassisto trophy race. Tassie haven't won yet. South Australia haven't lost, but if they do lose, the trophy will go to New South Wales as it stands. What a morning. Skips come down.
Okay, a little update on the men's game here on this green. Green 1, WA men 47, lead ACT 37 after 53, so just 10 ends to go. With WA up by 10. And here with the women, we have WA 58 to 40.
Victoria in the women's. They look home. Lois Waters got. Needs it to run. It's not gonna. Needed it to turn. Sorry, not run. It ran. That's for sure. Tasmania and South Australia. The South Australians have picked up a huge score. They were 48-42 down. They are now 56-48 in front. Oh, no, they're not. What was I looking at then?
I don't know what you were looking at.
No, excuse me. Sorry. There was a number that held. I don't know what I was looking at there.
I don't know.
Oh, still 48-42. Excuse me. I apologise, everyone. Wow, I just gave myself a heart attack.
Half of Tasmania
They hate me.
have just passed away.
This is close. Just not going, or is it in for shot? It's close. I apologise to all the Tasmanians who I may have scared then. I don't know what number I was looking at there. Sorry, Paul. Where did I pull that from?
I don't know.
I really went with confidence too. If you say things with enough confidence, people will believe you. Measuring for shot here. Where on earth
Looks
did I-
like Andrew's out on that rink. Oh, they've just picked up a 3. South Australia.
Oh, it's only 3 the difference.
3 in it.
Wow. And what was the score there, Robbie? 1 to Western Australia. So it's 20-11 with 2 ends to play here on Green 1, Rink 1.
Wow. South Australia have hit the front.
They have.
49-48 after 56 ends.
Nigel Pedley's wife, I'm sorry, I did say that they went behind by a lot further. They actually are behind. It's 50-48 in favour of South Australia. So they've gone from 6 down to 2 up. That's with 6 ends to play, 2 ends on each rink. Oh, 1 match is over, actually. That is the Peter Gagler and Nigel Pedley rink. And Peter Gagler has won that 18-17.
He was down most of the day.
I apologise to Nigel's wife. Just to be the bearer of bad news.
So South Australia 50, Tasmanian 48.
And as it stands, they've got the John Dobby Trophy. So it went early, but it ended up being right.
They've got one hand on it and a finger.
They're looking at it. They might have a finger on the trophy. They're caressing the trophy at the moment, but they don't have it yet.
Anyway, what has Jill done here? She's been leading beautifully today. She's up there, thereabouts. But yes, it's riveting viewing, watching a spreadsheet get updated.
It's the beauty of live sport. If you're a fan of live sport, you won't mind sitting there watching scores update on a screen. And when it's got such huge ramifications, South Australia have had no success in terms of this tournament at all. They haven't won the Glenn Basisto overall. They haven't won John Dobby, and they haven't won Betty Collins. This is for their first title at this event.
Correct. Well, Jill just skipping on through.
Western Australia were down 28-14 on the masterboard. Since then, they've scored 45 shots to 12. It's been dominant.
Oh. Nigel's wife. Oh my God, Mel.
I apologise to Mrs. Pedley.
It's not over, Mrs. Pedley.
That's a great delivery there from Irene Leahy.
That's 2, maybe 3.
Oh, sorry, that wasn't Irene. That was Maggie.
That was Maggie. Maggie Newton from the Leeming Bowling Club in WA.
What a morning we've got. 1 end to play in the Shane Young Darryl Steinwedel rink. 20-11 in favour of Shane Young.
Well, we actually streamed that rink yesterday, Shane Young. He was playing 3rd to Tony Vince. And Tony Vince has pulled out of that rink today.
Yeah, Yeah, we do apologise to Cheryl. She's been a great watcher this week. She's been tuning in. And let's see what happens in the final.
Thank you, Michael, for helping us with Cheryl's
I
name.
thought it was Cheryl, but I just didn't want to go just in case I was wrong. But thank you, Michael, for confirming.
Oh, we love our viewers. We love all the help they provide. All those insights. It's without them.
Maggie Newton. It's a bit quick. Good home at the back.
Still holding 3, I suspect. So just 3 ends to go in that South Australian Tasmanian game.
So if WA win this end here and they hold on, they will win this rink. Kathy Gobbart, they haven't been behind at all. This bowl here coming through, not a bad effort. Definitely not 3 anymore.
Could even be second shot.
Nicely done from Dianne Marquet. I think that is second.
All right, quickly. Queensland versus New South Wales in the men. Queensland still holding a 6-shot deficit. So New South Wales on 54, Queensland 48 in the women. Looks like New South Wales are in control there, 50 to 33. And with Victoria and Northern Territory, it's still a convincing lead to the Victorian ladies. The Victorian men are up by 6. But we are watching the Tasmanian South Australian men very closely, and I'm sure Andrew's down there on the job trying to put the scores in as soon as the end is completed, because it has such a massive ramification to the event. What a great bowl. Western Australia still holding 1, I would say. Do you agree with that, Robbie?
It's, yeah, WA 1. That bowl sitting at 6 o'clock. Time for Liz Matthews
Maybe
to put
just
a second down.
Quick update on the live score, Robbie, on the screen, please. So viewers who are tuning in now can go and check the live scores.
It's the link there.
Put the link.
I'll post the link in here as well.
Oh, that's a great idea. Because everyone else can be watching the same spreadsheet as we are.
It's the most enthralling spreadsheet I've ever seen.
It's a live document.
There's the link there if you want to keep an eye.
Never been so enthralled by a spreadsheet in my life.
Neither have I, but that's why we love this event.
We cannot see the green from where we are, so
Well, we can, but it's a long way away.
we can't see the action
No.
anyway.
So, right here, 19 shots on the master board. If Western Australia hold this shot and hold on to this end, they will win this rink. That'll be a done deal. 1 end to play after this.
So Kathleen coming on her backhand, trying to add. The line's good. How's her speed?
Line's very
Tell
good.
you what?
Oh, she spilled it out. Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Well, I think they owe the Tasmanians,
The ACT?
the ACT ladies,
Got Tasmania on the mind.
a few, because Lois has been a little bit generous on the odd occasion.
We've had the utmost of drama this morning. New South Wales and Queensland, they're playing their own game. New South Wales would probably, the
New
men,
62 to 51.
they're putting their best foot forward.
So I think New South Wales will wrap that one up.
Robert Warren goes 7-0 in rinks.
Well, he's going to win the best rink. There's no doubt about that. Big
Yes.
Joe, as he was aptly called yesterday. All right, we're still waiting on South Australian Tasmanian game. There's 2 rinks to play. Oh, No, 3, sorry. 3 rinks to go. Ends, I mean.
So Kathy Gobbart is going to come down and have a look. 1 bowl to go. I think a little tuck of the jack back to where it was would be advantageous. What do you think, Paul? Are they 1 up or 1 down?
1 to Tasmania.
ACT.
To ACT, sorry.
So Lolly's gone to your head,
Oh, my
Paul.
goodness. I think I ran out of lollies. That's the problem.
Jeez, how many of those have you had?
Just a few.
I've only had 3, so that's all you.
Oh, Robbie had too many. He had a few as well.
So waiting on updates from other greens. South Australia and Tasmania locked with 3 ends to go. South Australia lead it by 2. They have to win. They win, and John Dobby is theirs. They lose, and John heads to New South Wales because they lead 71-55 over
New
Queensland.
South Wales are extending their lead, 71 to 55.
So the defending champions on the ropes. Queensland look like they're in trouble.
Yeah, we need to send Andrew over to green 3.
So what about the Victoria Northern Territory matchup, Paul? What's happening there?
Oh, that's
So-
a fate of complete.
In terms of the men as well?
The men are up by 6.
So Victoria will get 1 win behind Queensland. So not sure it'll be enough for overall. New South Wales women, let's see where they're sitting at the moment. So New South Wales women were sitting in 3rd. And they are currently leading. So they could finish 2nd in both as it stands, which means overall probably goes to New South Wales. What was the score in the end there?
Yeah, well, Queensland are going to pick up 1 rink, so they can't be...
1 to WA.
Queensland are going to pick up 1 rink, so I think Queensland will say 2nd on the ladies' tally, even if they do lose this game.
Yes, true. So
Unless Christine Myers can come from behind and claim that rink, so it pretty much comes down to that rink. All right.
So this rink, Paul,
Andrew is updating the women's game.
this rink is going the way of WA. They lead it by 10 with an end to play. The maximum that they can get back is an 8, which rarely happens. So let's see what happens with this Tasmania South Australia update. Wait with bated breath. The women of South Australia, they look like they're in a good position. Can finish in 4th, I would hope. ACT won't be winning here, we don't think.
And good morning to you too, Graham from Victoria, listening in, watching on. Thank you very much. We've got Val and Robbie here, bringing you this fantastic coverage today.
So this is...
With all eyes on this.
yeah, we've almost forgotten about the rink that we're on.
Wow. So Tassie have picked up 1, so there's only 1 shot the difference.
With 3 ends to play.
Oh, must be only 2 ends.
No, 2 ends, yep. So that Shane Young has won 21-11, so there's 2 ends to go, or maybe less. Let's see. It's being updated as we speak.
So the Chris Norris, Gary Smith rink have 2 ends to play.
Holds all the cards.
South Australia 50, Tasmania 49, and South Australia cannot afford a draw. They cannot.
Only a win now, because New South Wales is 16 ahead of Queensland's men.
Yeah, New South Wales have really skipped away in that game. So all eyes will be on that middle rink.
We'll keep you updated. We may stay on air depending on how that's going. We'll get Andrew Howie to send us some updates if he can. He'll update them on the spreadsheet, but we might stay on to confirm because it'll finish at a pretty...
This is where we need Robbie to put up the drone.
So right here anyway.
Hover over rink green 3 and...
South Australia pick up a 2 and they lead at 52-49. 1 end to play, so they just... If they drop a 2, They are home and hosed. They will win the John Dobby Trophy.
I reckon we'd probably hear them from here if they were able to hang on, South Australia.
So stay on with us, because after this match we will confirm who the winner is. So this match is a fait accompli anyway. This one's 21-11 in favour of Western Australia. Andrew Howie's over there, waiting in the wings. So Victoria's women, what's the score there, Paul?
The Victorian women, it was a fate of complete.
It is, but just to update.
No, it's still 63-23.
It's after 48 ends, so Victoria, they should have it done.
That's out on green 4. That's a little walk away.
And New South Wales women are leading Queensland's women, which means that...
By 7.
Yeah, so that means that even if Victoria do somehow drop that there's going to be absolutely no problems at all. They will get the job done either way, because Queensland needed to win all 3 rinks. Or actually, sorry, they just needed to win. So Victoria look home. It's Liz Matthews puts down her penultimate bowl. Since it was 8-all, Paul, after 10 ends, Western Australia have won 8 of the next 10 to absolutely romp home. This has been something extraordinary. They were down 14-28. Since then, they've scored 48 shots to 14 and have gone on an absolute rampage. That middle rink, Mandy Stitt led Pam Chalmers 16-0. And Pam Chalmers and her team have come back.
One behind. It's amazing recovery.
And that team is Pauline Bourne, Rinsk Butcher, Sian Smith, and Pam Chalmers. They've come back as Liz Matthews puts in her final bowl of an extraordinary performance.
I think Jill Cornish, she's bowled splendidly today.
One end.
Red and yellow bowls have been extraordinary.
Her final bowl, it's pointed okay, it's just not going to have the weight. Some bird flies very close to us through the gap. I was giving Lucas stick for getting scared of a magpie the other day that was through the covers, and then I jumped.
Well, we can confirm.
Tasmania picked up a 1 on the final end. And South Australia are the 2024 John Dobby Trophy winners. That is a magnificent performance to come from behind. They didn't lead in any way, shape or form throughout the entirety of that contest. They took the lead on end 60 and held on right till the very end. What a performance from South Australia. Well played to Tasmania as well. They go 2 rinks to 1 in favour of in favour of SA. And Peter Gagler winning that on the final end with a 2 probably proved to be the difference. But 52-50, South Australia are your John Dobby Trophy winners. Victoria are going to win the Betty Collins Trophy. Sorry to Cheryl Pedley. We know that you had your heart set on Tassie getting a victory, and they were oh so close. They pushed it right until the very end. But it is South Australia and the 12-a-side that become the 4th state to win an overall here at the Australian Senior Sides Championships.
Congratulations to South Australia.
They join Victoria, New South Wales and Queensland as winners of the overall winners of an event.
The John Dobby Trophy is bound for South Australia.
It is. They become the 4th state to
away, all away.
Very nice, Paul. So they become in the last 4 events, no one has defended the trophy. Victoria, the only team to win it twice, but it's gone New South Wales in 2019, 2020 and 21. No event because of COVID. And Victoria in 2022, Queensland in 2023, South Australia in 2024.
Well, I think they're confident. They've got the shot there. Kathleen standing right in front of the camera. They've done so well all game. Right up to the last.
Yep.
Decide to, let's...
Of all
what have we got
times.
there?
Hopefully they do jump out of the way. They have. So this is a fait accompli. Final bowl has been bowled. It's going to be 3 to the ACT at least, I think, here.
Oh, well.
So decent little collect to finish it off.
It's not going to change the result of the game.
But in the overall,
But it could affect the overall, but I
mathematical
don't
chance.
think so.
Just getting a little measure before we finish up here for the morning. So South Australia are going to win it. Well, they have won it. The John Dobby Trophy. Betty Collins looks like it's going the way of Victoria. That looks like a foregone conclusion there. Just waiting on what happens here. Western Australia are on their way to possibly finishing up in 5th position. Then what is the final total? Just trying to get an update. Nothing as of yet.
Yards. No, 4.
4 it is. Are we going to get a measure for anything
No, but
else?
there's more. 4 will do.
4 it is. So a brilliant collect to finish off for the ACT. But it's Western Australia who
21
power
to
home.
15.
And you're right, Paul, 21 to 15. And Western Australia, they weren't headed at all at any point of the 21 ends. They were brilliant. Liz Matthews, Irene Leahy, Maggie Newton and Kathy Gobbart get the job done over Jill Cornish, Dianne Marquet, Jenny Clout and Lois Waters. A brilliant contest and a brilliant tie in the end. And Western Australia look like they're on their way. You can stay updated via the live scoring link and via bowls.com.au a little later on to find out the final results. But Paul, thank you for all of your efforts this morning
thank
and
you, Val.
through yesterday
Well
as well.
Glad
And
you're feeling better today.
yeah, it's been good to be back. So thank you to everybody.
Thanks to Robbie.
Yeah,
on
and
the
Robbie
switches.
as well for joining us and being part of this as well, and also to all the viewers for joining us here at Club Tweed. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing you the 2024 Senior Sides Championships on Thursday, 8:30 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. That's when you can join us for the Australian Sides Championships, the Open Sides. We very much look forward to that. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's all sides action. So join us then on Ringside Live on Bowls Australia's YouTube channel. Make sure you're with us. But until then, bye for now.